version 1. This thing here. There's a product. So that's version 1. Not happy with it. So decided to do a bit more minimal version and a bit more, I don't know, a bit more, I don't know, machiney, you know, faceted type version. This is actually for, I'll show you what it's for, because I've got a template in here somewhere. There we go. It's for one of these, a HomePod Mini. That's what it's for. You know, the Apple speaker. But what's good is I've designed it, well, both good and bad, actually. I've designed it with this ridge in such a way whereby you can actually shove the HomePod Mini in and it clamps to the rubber base ring, so that you could even have this inverted and it'd still work. And I tested it and iterated, and I did it for the white HomePod Mini on my desk, and I'm there like, yep, this is awesome. I am so pleased with this. And then I've got a HomePod Mini that I wanted to use a prototype for in the workshop, so I went into the workshop, and it's a blue one. And I swear to God, the diameter of the the bottom of the blue one is slightly different. So it doesn't quite fit as securely, which is like really fucking annoying. Like really annoying. But what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just coming up now, because of that, having to redesign it, and coming up with a slightly different design, which is kind of going to be like, kind of going to be like this, I think. So let's cut this and see what it looks like when it's a little bit less faceted. But I don't want it all the way up there. So about like so. There we go. Right, so what we do is to cut out of this shape, we simply say cut the hell out of. Oh, wait, no problem. That's locked. Yeah, unlock. Wait a minute, stop. Where are you? You little shit. Oh God, this is one of the, no, it is unlocked. There we go, that's fine. It's unlocked, right, so if I do that and say cut and then select that, that projects through. And then I do that and say, I ain't interested in that piece. This is what I'm interested in, which is all right for the moment. But what I want to do, that's actually, damn it. Question, if the Earth were flat, it ain't. Yep, indeed. How far could you see an object before they vanish? It depends what you mean vanish. If you mean can't see it, then we've got light attenuation. So that's when light attenuation can be because it's too dark to see the object. There's not enough light. And it depends what you mean by object as well. So here's an interesting thing. If someone uses a laser, right, they can see the laser, and you might not be able to see the object that the laser is coming from, but you can see the laser as in the light from the laser because of the intensity. So it's all about intensity to whether you can see directly an object. Because if you think about it, the size of a star, is too tiny in angular size for you to be able to resolve as an object. It absolutely is. But the magnitude of the light coming from it means that you see the light. That's no different to, someone shining a laser from one of these little pen lasers in your eye from about 20 miles away. You cannot see that that's a pen laser, but you can see the light because of the intensity. So again, it kind of depends what you mean. So the ways that light wouldn't get to you is it's not powerful enough. The object is too small to see, and it's not powerful enough. It's going through the atmosphere and attenuates and diffuses. So there's loads of different ways, but in effect, you can see there's no limit to human vision about what you could see. 0. It's all about light intensity. I think I might have to go with this one and just make it bigger. Or maybe... two minds about this. Attenuation rate. Well, attenuate means... Well, classically, I don't know what that means, but my definition is change from one value to another, and in terms of light, it's changing from something you can see to a lesser value. I mean, you can work out. I don't know the actual definition for it. Someone should look that up. But I can work out light attenuation, as in the fall off and drop off of light, via what you call scatter and absorption coefficients through the atmosphere. I don't want to get too technical because it's Sunday. But that's how you work out what it is. I'm trying to decide what the hell to do with this thing now because this is pissing me off. I need a game plan for this, and I don't think I've got one at the moment. Yeah, so light attenuation is... I think I have just got a game plan, actually. Yeah, so light attenuation is scatter coefficients and absorption coefficients to work out the drop in light intensity over a chord length, which is just near enough saying the direction. So force, effect, or value. But to me, light attenuation is the change in value over the chord length. Like I say, well, it certainly is in 3D graphics anyway. I need to break this up and do this. Yeah, I decided. Wait a minute. I decided to try something different. So yeah, I'm going to start running lives where I could do like flat Earth bullshit still, absolutely. And I don't mind switching to flat Earth, but I also want to open it up to other topics as well, like mobile development, 3D graphics, games development, augmented reality, vision neural networks, 3D printing, latest tech, things like, central bank digital currencies, which I believe have massive advantages, some real big advantages, and I believe so controversially as well. But that all depends on how much you trust your government, i.e. the people running the show, which unfortunately is not a strong point of anybody's country at the moment, I don't think. So, yeah. But I'm also, what am I also doing? I'm also doing this. So this is that thing that I was just showing you. The iPod mini mount. And if I go to a camera and we have a look at it, I'm just going to do product photos kind of this and coming up with different scenarios. This isn't the one that I'm going to use. I'm just playing about with it at the moment. But it doesn't look too bad. It's got a nice soft focus and a nice little background. So, and nice little reflections on the material here. But I need to put a HomePod mini in it. I'm also going to do real photos of the little 3D print thing as well. So, and this is lit by a HDRI outside of this. If you have a look, which basically just means a high dynamic range image, which means in effect you move beyond the values of black and white. Which is how we see the real world anyway. How the real world is. The real world consists of brighter colors, brighter luminance than just pure white, and it consists of darker darks than what we see as black. So that's what HDRI image is, and it just means I don't need lights in the scene. It's just a lazy way to light a scene, to be fair. So, so I get kind of this from that studio lighting, which is pretty simple. And just to show you what that looks like actually on here, if I were to create, let's say, a chrome ball, for example, let's have UV sphere is what I want. Jesus. UV sphere, I don't know, it's 64 segments and absolutely smoothed and slightly above, like so. And we will make it Let's have a look. Metal. Metal would be a good thing. Metal rusty, metal grid, metal raw. There we go. So some kind of lovely, chromy type color. Let's have a look. Yeah, solid. That'll do. Yeah, so you can see how that sets up kind of a studio lighting thing. So there's no lights in this scene at all. There's just, it appears as though there's studio lights in the scene, but that's just because of the HDRI, which is pretty cool. We'll probably see more with that material. Wait a minute. That material, to be fair. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit more. So it's those lights out there that are acting as lights, but they're in fact just a high dynamic range image. And that's all that's lighting this scene. And it's just, I mean, I have actually got a product, but I've got product, softbox, ring lights, LEDs, and all sorts of stuff to light it. I just can't be asked. It's just such effort. So it's probably easier for me to just kind of do it in a render and just have done with it. It really is, because yeah, I really can't be bothered sometimes. Oh, look, refraction. How cool is that? Actual proper refraction. But anyway. Yeah, I don't need this. Yeah, so, yeah, Blender, by the way. Blender has an absolutely phenomenal renderer. It's called Cycles. And it is, I just love it. It's absolutely fantastic. For a free renderer and being able to control what I do with this is stunning. So if I wanted, let's say, some more objects in here, like so. Let's say we make this one not that. We make it a little bit red, for example, and get back down here. So I can control on the camera itself, like the f-stop. I need to do a bit more on this at the moment. But, you know, even the out of focus areas, I've got blade count. So let's have 16 blades to make that a little bit higher quality. And let me get rid of widgets. Yeah, the quality of it and the speed of it is pretty awesome. Blender itself and Cycles, especially for doing like product stuff. I could, if I had a rig set up, and I'll spend the next couple of days developing a rig to showcase 3D print designs and stuff. I won't need my softbox anymore. I won't need to print them out because I'll be able to do much better visuals just in Blender, even with all my photography equipment, which is quite substantial, to be fair. And that's just because, you know, the major advantage of it is in Blender, this material at the bottom here, well, it looks, wait a minute, let's, let me just make this a little bit more in focus. Yeah, so this material, this metal material here, you know, in me trying out different materials in a product showcase that might, you know, that I want the material that's been showcased on to be somewhat like the actual object or contextual use of the object that I'm showcasing as a 3D print design. For me to have a product box and then have loads of different sample materials to be able to put this on is, and let's change this to be another color so that we can see how lovely the shadows look, the reflections look. Yeah, so for me to have loads of different types of materials underneath is probably cost prohibitive. But let's say I was doing something for, let's say I've got something to print out for my furniture, right? But let's just say my furniture's wood, for example. Well, for me to go and get like a wood segment that kind of matches what I want, why, when I can just do that and say, hey, oh, no, that's not the 8K version. Wait a minute. Let's have an 8K version. There we go. So for me to put this on various different types of wood is so easy for me to do and showcase. And I've still got complete control over this. So if I were to say, well, I don't want the roughness and I want it more metallic-y to actually show a bit more reflection, as in, so it's polished a little bit more, I could do that. I've got complete control. That's not something I have control over in real life without extreme effort. And I'm not about extreme effort for the returns that you get in real life. So, obviously doing product showcases. So let's say I was doing something let's do something a little bit different. Let's say I was doing some mechanical thing that I was dipping to have metal plate or adhesion to or something like that. Because you can actually, shove an electrical current through. You can paint it with a special paint, shove an electrical current through, and bond like metal flakes or gold flakes or whatever you want to 3D prints. But let's say I was doing like an industrial thing like that. For me to say, all right, well, let's go have a look at metal plates and see what metal plates want. For me to assemble, I'm going to have to download the 8K versions of these. I don't know where they've all gone. Let me see if I can find one, because I do need the 8K versions, or otherwise they look a bit shoot. Damn. Okay, maybe I want to use metal plates then. Metal grid, let's have a look. Ooh, metal grids. Nifty. This is a bit weird. But yeah, even something like metal grids, just putting something on there that's just not possible in real... 8K version, here we go. Putting something on here that's just not possible in real life. We'll wait for the 8K version to load. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't have that structure showcasing an object in real life without extreme effort. So it's like, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I meant to have this as an open guest thing. So there we go. Oops. So that's why, yes, I could go set up my product box. I could set up like 4 or 5 lights, including the box light and all that kind of stuff. Or I could just do it in 3D and just say, yep, this is a lot easier. Which it is. It just is. I could do something for outside on the ground, for example, and then just showcase it on kind of funky ground, and then change the background as well to be like an outside thing. Doing this manually in the physical world, A, is time consuming, and B, is just, it's sometimes so friggin' boring. Let's have shiny plastics. There we go. Yeah, Sleeper. The problem is, in order to control all of this, I need the 3D model. I need a 3D model. This here is wait a minute. Let's have a look when it loads. This here is a 3D model that I have control over. So at the moment, I've got transmissive lighting through it. So you can, light is actually transmitting into this object and actually going through it and making it through. And that's actually based on, much like the atmosphere shit, and material properties that allow you to do that. But if you've got a 3D model, by all means, I'd have a look at, once I've built this, once I've built my rig to showcase, to showcase what I want. If you just wanted if you had a 3D model of your product and just wanted a render, I don't mind doing that. It's a piece of piss. Let's have a little bit better look on this. There we go. Look at that. Showcasing a lovely little print. It obviously doesn't look right because it's floating, but this is just a real-time render as well. It's not like the full sample that I could do in cycles. It won't be far off this, but I will. So, for instance, I'll be max samples and min samples. For the viewport, I'd change. I wouldn't have the denoiser as strong. Actually, I'd leave it to actually render, because the denoiser actually can create filter artifacts. Yeah, I mean, Blender, believe it or not, Blender yeah, Sleeper, Blender's not the easiest thing. I mean, people ask me how long did it take me to learn Blender? About half a day. But the problem with that half a day is all the foundational concepts that Blender implements, I've had 25 years experience of. So it's just the shitty interface and the way that and you know, so and the way that you're supposed to do things that I have to learn. I know exactly how everything works already. So it's incredibly quick for me to pick a 3D application up. Much like this, actually. So this is something that I bought. This is Plasticity, which is a CAD-based program. Now, I haven't used CAD ever in my life, ever. This is my... And by the way, this is not me boasting. I'm just saying. This is my... I don't know. I'm going to say I've been using Plasticity now for about 5 hours. Maybe 6 at a push. But now I can make products. I can build stuff exactly how I want. I know most of the shortcuts and tools that I want. So if I want to do this and say, hey, let me go and get rid of a few of these and move this to the center and up, bring it up there, and then say, let's make it a little bit more rounded. Although, let's move it a little bit higher because I want it all the way up there, and then say, round it. Yeah, for me to do things like this now, and I'm just using shortcuts to do this. It's not that I've learnt the program. It's that it's fairly simple to me because it's just 3D graphics. So, but if I didn't know 3D graphics for 20 odd years, I'd get to this and it would be incredibly difficult for me to start learning, by the way. And that's the same with Blender. It just is. Yeah, I know UE, I know Unreal Engine, I know Unity, and I know a lot of custom game engines as well throughout my time in games development. So even Sony's proprietary thing that first came out called Fire Engine, and just all of them. So yes. But yeah, I'm going to create a showcase file. Yeah, here's another little quick tip. Never make straight edges without slight curves in 3D graphics, because you never that doesn't exist in the real world. So light acts very differently if this was a perfect cube as opposed to slightly chamfered or filleted, what we call around the edges. So yeah, you wanna make it a little bit better. I don't like that reflection actually. So let's change that a little bit and make it a little bit more not as prominent. There we go. That's better. Yeah, this is me just pissing around now. I will spend time on this, and I'll get the I'll get a nice presentation rig, and I might not even use this material. This material's what else have we got? Let's just have a look. Oh, fluids. Yeah, that's another thing. We can in a 3D showcase, I could put something on water. Obviously, that's just so easy. Try doing that in real life. Let's slightly submerge it in water, or just have it half in the water. It's like, yep, you ain't gonna do that in real life, or not as easy anyway. Put it that way. So yeah, there we go. And I can have, and again, I can create videos out of this as well, which is quite cool. So I can just have, and I can change the wave height and all that kind of stuff. Just stuff that you couldn't do in real life. And to be honest, this stuff, because of technology, is going to be becoming accessible to many people, like pretty much anybody. It really is. Which is both sad and good. Because, yeah. Oh, ice. Oh, let's have a look at ice. Ooh. Yeah, try doing an ice, putting it on an ice sheet. How's that? Oh, that doesn't look like a very good ice. What's this like? I actually think these ices are predominantly for transmissive properties. In other words, light going through it rather than being a set for hosting an object. Ooh, energy. What's that? No, energy, just solar panels. We should have just put solar panels. Car paint. There we go. Yes. Lovely car paint. Yeah, so having lovely car paint is awesome. Frenzel effect, which is pretty cool. And for anybody that doesn't know what Frenzel effect is, it's much like a Fresnel effect. It's basically it's what you call a facing ratio calculation of light because of the difference between the transmissive and specular component of the light and the specular component of the lacquer or the coating and the paint. There's a difference between the two. You don't put on glossy paint, or that's not how it settles. You can with flaky, metallic-y type stuff. But normally what you do is you paint the car and then you run a gloss coat over it. And that's what gives you a right sheen. But that leaves a thickness of material, which means at high incidence angles, you don't hit the paint anymore, as in the color of the paint. You're actually just going through the gloss. Which add-on? Oh, so this, I've got a few add-ons. In fact, yeah, I'll take you through my add-ons. So I've got Extreme PBR, which is this, which is just basically, if you don't know what PBR is it's just physical-based rendering. Normally there's two concepts, physical-based rendering and physical-based shading, and all they actually relate to is key names and values that are interoperable between realistic renderers. So, and given a shader specification. So, for example, everything that supports physical-based shading or rendering will have a roughness attribute, and the roughness attribute is how much when the light hits a surface, how much it diffuses. You've also got what you call an anisotropic component to that, and not, so that it doesn't have to be equally distributed. But so if I were to increase the roughness of this here, you'll see how the light, there we go, the light incidence angle here decreases. So because this is car paint, and we see that Fresnel effect, when I get low down, it starts becoming like a mirror. When I get high up because of the angle of incidence, we're just looking through the paint. Now, because of the roughness, the specular and reflectivity goes down because it's actually a physical-based property of the material is roughness. Whereas if it's not rough at all, guess what? It's very reflective at at lesser angles. Car paint's a bit of a weird one, to be fair, because it's multi-coat. And you've got something called clear coat as well, which is where there's a thickness to the transmission and reflection, as in it simulates the thickness of the material. But I'll choose something else. Let's have a look. What else would be? Leather. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, just being able to put, let's say I did a clothing 3D print or something, or like pegs and stuff, and then just put it on walls or leather or steel. That's shit leather. What about that? Oh, that's not 8K. Yeah, if you do buy this add-on, the downloads are astronomical, and I mean utterly just crazy. Like, I think I've got 80 gigabytes of physical-based rendering textures, because as well the physical-based rendering textures have multiple components. So you've got diffuse, roughness, transmissive. You've got reflective mask if you want. You've got normal, or what used to be called .3 bump map, or normal, which is a vector map for how the light's going to react. You've got, you can have all these different maps and contributions. And they're all massive at 8K, and there's loads of materials in this. So the 8K variants. I think if I downloaded them all, I think I've got like 60 gigabytes of them. If I downloaded them all, I think it would be, well, it'd be substantially more, put it that way. I think I'd be in the hundreds of gigs, really. Oh, marble. Yeah, that's a point. Do we have marbles? What would marbles be under? It'd be stone. Stone, marble. Ooh. What stone marbles do I have? Ooh, green marble. Whatever this is. Yeah, you see, having a thing where you can just swap out a material in a product box. Oh, green marble, bit dark. Let's have a lighter one like this then. And the roughness is way too much on that. And we also want metallicness up a little bit. And then I get what I want. There's a nice marble effect. But yeah, I've got a few add-ons. So I've got this for doing quick textures and stuff. I've got real snow, which is awesome. So if I was doing a Christmas, wait a minute, let's see how this works. Oh Jesus, this is not going to go great. There we go. Snow on my little 3D print. Yep, there we go. I bought that just because the hell of it. I've got print design tools and 3D print tools. I've got a virtual camera. I've got a thing where I can create trees. So I can just spawn a tree anywhere. And here we go. There's a tree in my product box. And I can prune the tree and all sorts of good stuff. I've got Easy Fog, which is pretty cool. Not something I'd use in a product box. Oh, maybe I would, actually. I could add, oh my God, yeah. Wait a minute. Could add a tornado. How cool would that be? So check this shit out. Wait a minute. Let's. So, yeah, this would be interesting. With my 3D print, I have a tornado. I need to increase the density here a little bit, and I should step through it. But yeah, something you couldn't do in a product box is have a tornado swirling around. But yes, there you go, a tornado. I don't really have a list of best add-ons. Like I say, I'm not really a Blender user, if I'm being honest. But these are just the ones that I bought because I don't mind supporting creators. When I find something that I think I might find useful, I buy it. The virtual camera one is pretty cool because the virtual camera allows me to use my iPhone to use it as a virtual camera and actually record like handheld camera within Blender, which is pretty cool. And it's especially good for like flat Earth or visual demonstrations in Blender. I've not used it yet, to be fair, but it would be good. But yeah, if anybody wants to come up and ask any questions on any topics that would include any of those, feel free. I ain't actually bad on any one of them. Obviously, I'm pretty sure everybody knows my flat Earth. I won't call it debunking. I'd just call it bringing an amount of realism to the flat Earth argument. Yeah, but I mean, I've been a mobile developer for 15 years. I know Java, Kotlin, Swift. I despise Objective-C. Not STL, STP. The difference between STL and STP is STL is static vertex definitions. In other words, once you've exported it, that is it. An example is this. I'll show you. So if I were to take this object, for example, let's have a look at this one. At the moment, this is a parametric object. So the curves and detail on this are defined by parameters and only resolved at the point of needing to display it for the amount of detail that is required. But it is adaptive. So even though if we see facets here, like you can see an edge, an edge, an edge, those don't actually exist. Now, when you export this as an STP, which I actually don't know what the P stands for, I'm presuming it's parametric. It just means it's adaptive. You're not exporting it at a certain, triangle resolution, so that whatever pulls it in can choose the triangle resolution, because this curve here is not defined in numbers of points. It's defined with a parametric description, so it can be an infinite number of points. And you can tell that if I go and, let's say, export this as a, let's export it as an STL file, yeah? And I'll just call it that. Now, if I just exported it as an STL file, that's what it's going to output. Incredibly faceted, but because it's parametric, I can say, well, actually, no, I want a little bit more detail than that. Actually, and I want its curve tolerance a lot greater than that. And can you see how it's adaptively tessellating it based on surface tangency? Now, in real terms, I'd probably go to about that, and for my surface tangency, because when it's G-coded or printable versions, that's probably about good enough, I think. I just want it so that I wouldn't be able to see curves. Here you go. So on this now, I just wouldn't be able to see curves, because at the end of the day, to display the damn thing, it needs to be triangles. Every viewport renderer or rasterizer at the moment is based on triangles, with the exception of two mechanisms, which is one is true ray trace and the other is voxel. But seldom do you see that like in a game engine or as an output anyway. So an example of voxel would be something like ZBrush can do adaptive mesh over voxel, which is how it can do it so quick. Same with Mudbox and things like that. ZBrush. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. It's all right. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. I will start again. Right. So, actually, let's. Yeah. So anyway, apologies. So this shape here, at the moment, this is a parametric shape. So each one of these curves can have 1 point, or it can have 1,000 points, and it will still sit on that curve. So parametric just means it has infinite resolution based on samples. Now, you can think of it like a radius. If you have a radius to define an arc, you can define at what point you're going to calculate based on what fraction of a degree you want. That is a parametric result, because you can say, well, I want, given a radius of 2, I want an arc of 0 to 90 every 1 degrees, and you will get those points. But because the definition of that arc is based on a radius, you have infinite resolution there to play with. And it's the same with parametric surfaces. Albeit, depending on the parametric surface, you can have what you call CP or CV curves or Bezier curves. They're all parametric. But here's the thing about this then. So an STP file or parametric file will actually just export this as a parameter-based thing rather than a static mesh-based thing. But if I want to go and export this as an STL, which is static, then it's going to export, wait for it. I've actually set this up to be quite detailed at the moment, so let's drop this down. So it's going to export it like this. And this will be the STL file, and this is what you would send off to prototype or G-code. The print files would actually trace out the inside of this now to assemble it. The issue with this is if you look down at it, from certain angles, you can kind of see that it will be faceted. And the printer's actually going to be making a, it might not be noticeable us looking down here, but if I decrease this a little bit, let's say to that and that, we can definitively see that the printer is going to be going zzz, 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 and changing direction. And this would be a static STL file. So on export, because it's parametric, I can say, well, no. I'm going to say anything over a face with a slight angle, I want you to decide to put more, more detail on it. And then over the surface tangency itself on the chords, I want a hell of a lot more detail. And now, once it's generated this, because it's doing it adaptively, once it's done this, now you can see that this is going to be pretty damn detailed when it comes to be printed out. And to be honest, that's what this is. If I tap on that and show you, I can't show you here, but if I tap on that and show you the geometry of this, that's a static geometry of it that I exported. This isn't parametric. This is just, vertex face. So you can see that it's actually quite detailed to make it look pretty smooth. And that's what we want. And that's what I want when it comes out the printer as well. Because I want all these, I don't want to see any facets or anything. I mean, only where I control the facets like this. That is a hash angle because I wanted it to be a hash angle. But I don't want this blend here to be a hash angle or have any hash angles in there whatsoever, which means if we look at the amount of detail in here, there's quite a lot to make it that smooth. So, yeah, it is good that way. So STL files. STL files are good if you want to control it. So, for instance, with Bamboo Studio, if you just import an STP, I don't know that you have that much control over the tessellation parameters. Whereas me exporting this as an STL straight out of Plasticity, which is what I'm using as a CAD program, I do have control over it. So, and I mean, occasionally when I pull it into a slicer, it's going to say, "Hey, this is quite detailed. Can you not do this, please?" To which my answer is no. Piss off. Just deal with it. So yeah, that's the difference. But like with, like I say, if you import an STP, you don't have control. If you import an STL, but you have control over how it's going to divide the surface up when it's exporting, that's probably going to be better. But yes, what I was going to quickly do. I mean, we can. I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't seem to. Oh, wait a minute. Let's have a look at Flat Earth map. Here we go. Yeah, I'll get the Flat Earth map up, see if anybody wants to come in and discuss Flat Earth, because that's normally what I'm about. But I have seen a distinct drop off of people, people actively wanting to discuss Flat Earth. And I think there's a reason for that, to be fair. I think no one wants to discuss it. Everybody wants to kind of say, "Oh, I don't believe this works on the globe." Well, that's fine. That's your belief. But people actually don't say what does work on Flat Earth. Not one flat earther has ever shown anything to work on Flat Earth. Zero. And in fact, if I was a flat earther, the first thing that I've seen big TikTok flat earthers run debate globe and masterclasses. And I bet all of that consists of calling them stupid, saying they don't believe in stuff, and asking for things to be explained to them. That's not a debate on a belief system. That has zero to do with a belief system. That's like saying, I don't trust you because I don't understand, and I think this is wrong, even though I don't understand. There is no positive, there's no positive evidence for the Earth being flat. There is a lot of evidence that the Earth isn't flat and would never work. And this is one of them, actually. I put in GPS Sat 26 orbital path in the beautiful flat non-rotating water orbit physics level flat Earth. And this is its path. And at either end of this path, you can see it in, wait for it, you can see it in South Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and South America at the tip of Argentina. You can see the satellite on this path, and you can see all simultaneously. That's a bit weird, right? That's a bit weird. It's almost like it's in two places at once. It'd have to be simultaneously. So that's what you have to believe if you believe in flat Earth, is that the radio signals coming from the sky, which you can receive with a radio receiver. There's two of them giving out the exact same thing, and they're doing this twice per day and coming past you at a huge ground speed. So yeah, you've got a problem. I think the flat Earth nonsense is simply a business for strange geeks. What do you mean for people like me? Ugh. Or like the people that push flat Earth? I think people that push flat Earth want to get something out of it. But I don't know that many of them make that much money from it. It's certainly the amount of effort that a lot of people put into it. Oh, well, wait a minute. I'm really sorry if there's any flat earthers out there, but if you're gullible enough to believe in flat Earth, you are probably gullible enough to be taken in by Ponzi schemes launched by flat earthers or supposed flat earthers that want to generate money off you. So yeah, maybe. Chile is not the longest country on Earth if Earth is flat. Chile is that there, and I thought Argentina would be longer or equal to. No, Australia looks like it's the widest. Although, wait a minute, yeah, Australia is wider than North America is entirely. So the United States of America is dwarfed by Australia. Yeah, Brazil, no. All the African countries, no. Yeah, Australia is the widest country on the beautiful flat non-rotating waterway times its level flat Earth with tides, obviously. So yeah, bit weird. Yeah, I mean the argument of saying that we know the sizes and shapes of countries, there's no way to make a flat map, is a dangerous one. You know what you've been told. You know what people say they've surveyed. You know what people say works with distance. But to a hyper-skeptical person like a flat earther, that's not something you can demonstrate. So it's not a brilliant way, Xavier. It's not a brilliant way to do it. How thick or deep is a flat Earth supposed to be? Yeah. Yeah. You could actually estimate it, but it would also invalidate it at the same time. And the way that you can figure out how thick the flat Earth is the mess underneath our feet has been weighed and calculated by a very, very amazing individual in the Cavendish experiment. That's what that did. That weighed the Earth. So since you can weigh the Earth, then, and you know the surface area of the Earth, then you can work out its approximate depth. But then the problem with that is gravity wouldn't really work. Yeah, Chubby Juggers, I've accepted your little message thingy. I thought you'd sent me a message then. But you could just ask me in here, you know, or you could come up and have a chat. It is up to you. You can tell me how. Oh, wait a minute! I'm going to make an admission. And this is a bit weird. My globe Earth. The problem is sometimes I save the damn thing when I don't mean to. And I must have saved it while having made a little bit of a mistake. And I don't know when this happened. So this was a bit weird. So I must have saved it at a point when I'd rotated the wrong thing slightly. So my predictions over X amount of time, I don't know when I did this, for the sunrise sunset were actually wrong by about, oh, wait a minute, what would it have been? Not by a much, but by a significant amount compared to what I normally claim. They would have been out by about 5 degrees consistently every single time. And the reason for that is I'd grabbed the, I've locked it now, so I can't grab it anymore. But I'd grabbed the dates here, and I'd actually been playing around with them and rotating them, and then I left them where December and January were divided perfectly at 90 degrees, which is not the summer and winter solstice. So I made an error, so I would have been 5 degrees out if you'd have asked me. Well, definitely yesterday or the day before yesterday, but now I've fixed it again. But yeah, sometimes when I'm showing people something, I might move something, and then I'll make an addition later on that I think, oh, I wanna keep that, so I'll save it. And it's like, oops, yeah, I made a bit of an error there. So, but if anybody wants a quick demo on how the beautiful, amazing Earth allows us to predict pretty much anything all the time, compared to the flat Earth predicting nothing all the time, feel free to ask. How do Globers explain the what? Perineum and deGrasse Tyson hyperbole? I have no idea. I don't. Tell me what they are, and I'll tell you. I'm a very simple person. I'm the grandson of a miner and the son of a mechanic. I don't speak with posh words most of the time. But yeah, is that an image on Earth? All right. No, is this an image on Earth? Oh yeah, sorry, this. Oh shit. Okay, so in Blender for material development in real time, you have the ability to add different environmental maps and different environments to see how your shader's working. And that's what I do. But when I do predictions, I don't use this real-time renderer. I use that, which now uses that 93 million mile away sun. So that's what predictions are. But when I'm just playing around, I use the faster interactions with real-time, real-time stuff. It's just a nice reflection map rather than just having it reflecting nothingness. Is Antarctica a continent? Looks like it. We've got solid fucking ground there. Looks like a continent. So yes, it is. And surprisingly enough, wait a minute. Well, I should always set this to today's date, actually. So what are we in? We're in. Oh, good. No prediction on flat Earth would ever come true. The moon. I've got the moon in here. The moon is. I could put the moon wherever I want, actually. So let's have a look. I think this is the moon. Yep, that's the moon. So the moon is. The moon is there. That's the moon. And that's the phases of the moon if I wanted. So I can actually show the moon as well. But what's fascinating is based on your latitude on a ball, you will have a different angle to the moon because you're looking at it from a different point on a ball. So if you took if you got your flat Earth friends to take photos on different latitudes simultaneously in different locations, you can see different orientations of the moon. And it's predicted perfectly by you being on a massive space ball flying through infinite space. Well, it might not be infinite. But yeah. So I have... wait a minute. So I have no bias. Do I have a bias? Everybody has a bias in something. but it depends whether your bias overrides objective reality. If your bias overrides objective reality and demonstrable reality in the real world reality, then that's called delusion. So I have a bias, but my bias can be overridden with data and evidence quite easily because I'm rational. To be irrational and delusional means that when I present this to a flat earther and say, hey, if I change any of this stuff, it doesn't work anymore. But if I leave it just as it is, it works. Right, okay. But anyway, it was an interesting point anyway. I do think rationale and bias are actually important. Because you need to, you can, there's a coding term called introspection, but it just means looking inward and being able to evaluate, well, in coding terms, a class, and methods and or properties before compile or that. But introspection on oneself just means evaluating yourself from trying to give yourself an external view of yourself to think, am I being rational here? So if someone comes over and says, hey, this predicts day and night perfectly. It predicts the Terminator lines. It predicts the twilight zones as well, the 3 twilight zones perfectly. It predicts the angle to the sun on any given day, all the way through the day on any given location throughout the entire year perfectly. It predicts the orientation of the moon from simultaneous observation points perfectly. It the things that it does are perfect and always work. And if I change anything, it doesn't work. So if I make the Earth twice as big or twice as small, it doesn't work. If I change the distance to the sun significantly enough, it doesn't work. If I make the Earth flat, nothing works. If I change the angle of the rotation axis slightly, it doesn't work. But if I leave it just as is, everything works. Now, in order for someone to say yes, but I still don't believe in that, it's flat. That's irrational. That's incredibly irrational. That means you have to want to believe in it so much that you're giving up logic and critical thought. And that's irrational and delusion. Well, that's irrational leading to delusion. So, yes, irrational leading to delusion. Which is a bit of a shame, because the last thing that you want to do, oh my God, look at Iceland. Iceland now is not getting that much nighttime. So Iceland is in fact here. It's this little place here. And if I let's put a little bit of a sphere on it so that we can kind of see where it is. In Iceland here on this sphere, if you look at that sphere, you can work out the fraction of a day. There's no hours in this, but you can work out in the fraction of a day how much light and dark it's getting. Now, when it crosses into these bands here, this one, the sky is completely lit still. That's what you call civilian twilight. This here, the sky is lit enough to cause you significant problems looking at stars. That's called nautical twilight. And this here is astronomical twilight, which means it's still very difficult to look at stars, but you may or may not get it. And they're based on 6-degree increments, I think, or whatever it is. It might be 6 or 8. No, it's 6, if I remember. So it's only truly nighttime when you get out of this band. And if you look at that, that's Iceland's nighttime, pure nighttime at the moment, pitch black. Whereas this is their entire day at the moment. That would piss me off. Too much sunlight. Way too much sunlight. Which is a bit shit. Now, there will be points in the year as well. Let's do this, where Iceland, oh my God, this would piss me off so much. Wait a minute. So where's the sun? Sun's over there. This would piss me off. So if we do that, then Oh no, Iceland being in complete darkness most of the time. That I suppose that would be all right. Yeah, I don't mind snow at night. That would be fine. Little bit of daylight, but not much. And then most of it in dark time. But yeah. But I mean, this is what this model predicts. Absolutely everything about our reality. Absolutely everything. And the flat earth? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no prediction that flat earth has ever given that's useful within our reality. No one's actually, and this is what I mean by delusion, is if someone says, hey, I know the truth, right? I know the truth of the reality in which you live. And they come up to you and you say, oh, well, can you demonstrate it? Ah, well, that's because curvature doesn't exist. And it's like, I don't care about anything else. If you're claiming a truth, tell me about that truth and how I can use it. Because almost every truth about physical reality is useful. Yeah? It's absolutely useful. What usefulness is there in flat earth? Zero. No one's come up with a use for flat earth yet. It cannot make any predictions. It cannot advance our society. There is nothing true about it. You can't even tell where the fucking sun is. And when you do attempt it, nothing works because the angles don't work because the sun isn't going round a fucking center point like this on a flat earth. Sundials don't even work. So yes, that's the problem. And if anybody believes otherwise, please come up and let's have a discussion. Oh my God, why do I keep hiding everything? That's ridiculous. I've got a gaming keyboard, and every time I hit the gamer's 1 key, everything disappears for some reason, which is a bit weird. Yeah, flight paths don't work on a flat earth either, which is ridiculous. Would the moon have a shadow on a flat earth? Yes, but what do wait, depends what you mean. As in the shadow, the phases of the moon. The answer's yes, but it wouldn't look like reality. You could never get it to look like reality. Well, the problem with a moon on a flat earth is you can, yeah, it's a bit hard to explain, but you'd see different sides of the moon. No one would see the same phase. That's number one. How am I sharing my screen? It's called Magic, Baron. I just ask, I mean, I don't know how. I can just say, hey, generate me a nice discussion topic screen, and it just does it. So it's a bit weird. I can say, hey, trigger the flat earthers, and it just does it. It's like really weird. I can just do stuff like this. I can say, hey, show me some useful stats, and it just does it. It's AI. It just all works. It's lovely. No, the way that I'm doing it, Baron, is I've got OBS. So, oops, yeah, OBS. This is what I'm doing, OBS. So I can choose, I can even have, I'll tell you what, I can even have camera feed up. And I use a virtual camera to output to TikTok Live. There you go. So TikTok Live thinks I'm using a camera, and the camera that I'm actually using is a virtual output from OBS with all scenes and things in it, so that I can transition to, different things quite easy. So I can just say, hey, transition that, and it does it, or transition back. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But if you want to, if you need help setting that up, I can jump into a live with you when you run your live, and we'll go through it if you want. But it's fairly simple. Wait a minute. I'm just gonna go on pause 2 seconds because I'm going. Oh no, I don't have to. Wait a minute. I can reach over and grab one of my, grab a camera, and then slap a, because I'll show you what else I can do in OBS, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted it. Let's hopefully not drop this 8K fucking camera, which would be a bit annoying if I did. Right, now let's plug this in. There we go. Nearly done. Nearly there. Nearly done. Turn the damn thing on. Tell it to act as a webcam, which is an amazing feature of Sony cameras. Yeah, so I'll show you this, Baron, because this is really cool. You'll like this, Baron, if you're still there. So what I've got here is I've got a camera feed. Now, this camera feed has got a source in it at the moment, and I can choose my, well, I have to switch to the virtual camera because I've just started it up, and then switch to the Sony. And then what I'll do is I will zoom in a little bit, and we'll focus. There we go. Oh, yep, dust. Need to dust it. Yes, obviously. But now I can have this real-time camera feed that I can just swap to and say, hey, look, that print that was on about earlier, this is it. Oh, where are we? Where are we? There we go. Yeah, so this is the print earlier that I was doing. Oh, this is the showcase thing that I'm doing. Yeah, so, but you can have multiple cameras as well. So I could swap to another camera if I wanted. I can have a wireless camera and then just start walking around with it. That's the freedom that fucking getting away from the TikTok studio thing presents me. Oh, I can say, hey, look at my balls. I've got loads of these little balls with a universe in. In fact, wait a minute, let's have a look at this. Can I focus on that? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Look at that universe. Rather cool stuff. Yeah, not manual focus, autofocus continuous. There we go. Yeah, because the focusing on this camera is pretty decent. Yeah, so I can have an autofocus system. Oh, let's turn the fucking. That's no. There we go. Bit more. Right, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so with the focusing system, I can say, hey, look at this, and it should pick up the focus. I've got it on smooth transition at the moment for doing film stuff. I could have it like really quick, but you know, it can focus on objects and it can keep focus like incredibly quick. So it's well worth it setting all this shit up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Hasselblad will answer your questions. We should do a photography. You know, we should do more. I mean, I hate to say this, but as fascinating as Flat Earth is sometimes in the way that people talk, it's a bit fucking boring. And once you've known all the arguments and you've utterly demonstrated them to be false, there's not a lot left, really. I'm still waiting for a single flat earther to actually come up and say, hey, I can show you how something works on the flat earth, or hey, I can show you how the globe doesn't work. And not one of them has ever done that. I'd rather have lives where we're all having a discussion and sharing information about the equipment, doing office tours and stuff like that, about, you know, what we use on a day-to-day basis or what our actual specialities are. Mine, believe it now, isn't 3D graphics or anything like that. It just fucking isn't. That's not my speciality anymore. I probably have the most knowledge about it, but that's not what I do on a day-to-day basis. In fact, I spend and you know, doing my doing the 3D stuff. That's doing the 3D printing and stuff. I spend more time with equipment like this now. a vernier, but what's good about this thing is I like the adjustment wheel to do very fine adjustments, because you know, when I'm doing print tolerances and stuff, when I'm printing out micron based stuff, measurements are slightly important. So yes, I like the tools that I use to play around and get prints and stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely up for more lives that do not include bullshit claims and science denial. I'm more interested in, hey, you know, like I asked Professor Nixie yesterday, I wanted to know when I'm going to get a quantum router or quantum communications, because with quantum entanglement, I thought that you could control the up-down quark states of like electrons and things to then be able to read it out. And I just kept thinking to myself, well, if you could do that, why have we got sharing information and shit? R5, yeah. You R3. Well, no, I told you I had an R3, right? I'm pretty sure I said that I had an R3. The only thing that I didn't like, the monumental night and day difference is the fucking focusing. It's like, oh my God. If I turn the focusing up on the R5, there's not much I can do to get something out of focus if I just say continuously autofocus on this subject, where it's a fucking insect, a car, a tree, a plant. The processing on board and machine learning of that camera to be able to detect and get nail focus is just so amazing. I can't. It impresses me, and I'm not impressed by technology a lot of the time. I think FE flat Earth debates is a bit weird. I don't think you'll ever have a flat Earth debate. Can I demonstrate gravity? Well, yeah. You can demonstrate the effects of gravity quite easily. You can calculate the effects and verify it. I used gravity to work out the deflection on the RSJ on my extension, and it works. So yes, we use gravity in construction all the time. Well, I'm not in construction, but I just felt like doing that calculation because I wanted to see whether I could. And I got within half a centimeter. I got within like 50 millimeters. I think it was 40 millimeters. Obviously, the the structural engineer did a little bit better. We weren't going to rely on my calculations. I just wanted to see if I could do it, because it wasn't a simple one either. Because for the RSJ deflection, in other words, the bending of the beam, that when it sags over time, you have to calculate, and the load bearing point on it, it wasn't equally distributed, so it wasn't a simple thing. But yeah, you need to use gravity for that. There's no such thing as density. There is gravity for that. And you just have to do it. Angling the camera. To angle a camera to fit their narrative. Angle what camera? How does angling a camera do anything, like Hasselblad said? Come up and have a chat, someone. I ain't scary. And I'm a lot more respectful when I'm talking to someone rather than no one. So yeah, please come on. I don't know why, but flat earthers, are they scared of me? Try telling pilots there's no such thing as dense air. Why would I tell pilots there's no such thing as dense air? How do you think fucking turbulence happens? How do you think the coefficient of drag is worked out? Jesus, why would you say such a thing? That's weird. Yeah, there should be an option to come up. Wait a minute, I can invite you if you want. Let's see. There we go. Invited you. But there should have been an option to come up. That's weird. That is weird. There should always be an option to come up.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Was there no button or anything?
Yeah, there was no button or anything at all. I wasn't but it's cool. I appreciate the invite. No, I wasn't saying that because I'm a globe earther. What I was saying is that I don't know if you've seen the sentence before what I was trying to type in the chat beforehand. But what I was saying is that Brisky. So I was in Snafu's live one time, and I was questioning like, can they explain the solar? No, I'm sorry, not solar. Sunset and sunrise.
Oh yeah.
And so Snafu started going off on a tangent talking about refraction and light and everything like that. And so then Brisky was like, yeah, go to my page, look at my video, and that explains it. So what he has is that he has like a block of wood, and he has like this he circled in on a square was supposed to represent the sun, and he says that the further that it goes away from your sight, the lower that the sun gets. But the way that he moves the square back and forth to show that the dot goes lower. But when you're really looking at it, he has the camera angled to where this block of wood that's supposed to represent the horizon is angled like at a upwards. So as he pushes the square out, the dot appears to, go lower or touch the block of wood. When in actuality, if he would raise his camera angle to where you actually have a fair level, it won't get smaller or it won't lower and touch the supposed
I've seen that before. I've seen it when they dip the camera low. But I mean, you don't need to do that. I mean, the problem with that argument is logically, if you think about it, the only way, there's only three, well, I often say this on my lives anyway, and I'm sorry for everybody that's heard this like fucking loads of times. There's 4 ways for something to, you not to see it. 1 is light attenuation, where the light isn't strong enough to register. 2 is it could be too small to see, right? That's a uniform reduction in size until you can't see it anymore. But that's left and right, up and down, uniform, scaling down. It's not one side or one bit of it, it's all of it. That's what that is. Then there's extreme refraction, whereby, inferior and superior mirages, or what you call fata morgana, can make things appear to be float or even turn into liquid and disappear like a cloaking device. And then the 4th and most important one is you can put something in front of it. And that's it. You can put something in front of it. Now, a flat earther has to believe that when the sun goes away, there is no direct line from the sun. There's still a direct line from the sun to your eye. And that is delusional. Because there's no other circumstance where that would be the case. So you can say, one of the prime examples is, I don't know whether you have it in the States, but in the United Kingdom, we had a problem when laser pens became a thing, like cheap imports from China and stuff, these really powerful laser pens. People were shining them up at pilot's eyes on airports and stuff as well, just as a laugh, right? Kids and stuff. Now, the pilots coming into land are descending and probably like 5,000 feet away from these people shining these laser torches. Now, there is no way that from 5,000 foot away, they can make out the individual, let alone the angular size of the pen that they're holding, but they can certainly see the laser light, right? That's going straight to that pilot's eye. So they can't see the object, it's too far away to see, but they can see the light coming from that object because it's powerful enough to make it to the pilot's eye. Now, what a flat earther has to believe is the sun isn't powerful enough to make it to your eye. But a laser is, and that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I kind of figured that it was time to leave his live, because he started saying that apparently the sky and the sun lowers due to the distance and refraction or whatnot. And I was like, yeah, it's time to go ahead and go.
Yeah, I mean, one of the important things about that is just ask them, say, all of these assertions are just assertions without numbers. Calculate it, make it predictable so that we can use it in reality. Once you've done that, you've got something. Until then, it's just a story.
Yep.
And they've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I had that over-talking asshole Chris on my live one day, and he says, "Oh yeah, this convergence point. Do you not know what convergence is?" And I'm there like, "Well, I know what perspective convergence is, but you tell me what yours is." "Oh well, blah 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 blah." Great. Give me a calculation. If I'm 100 foot away from something and only 1 foot high, how much of it is covered? Can you give me how much? I want to be able to use this. And just the amount of deflection and getting around, actually adding any substance to the argument, it's ridiculous for flat Earth. It really is. They'll do anything not to be specific, because that specificity just does not work.
Yep, I definitely understand that. Well, I appreciate you inviting me up. I wanted to pull over since I didn't want to drive and talk at the same time.
Yeah. Good call.
Thank you.
Right. Anyway, yeah. Catch you later, bud. Shape Commander.
What's up, bro? I just literally just woke up, but I heard you talking mad stuff, so I had to join.
What was the mad stuff?
You're like, they don't have anything. They have nothing. It's like, well, I mean, come the fuck on, bro. Like, we're coming, like, we don't have a model or anything given to us. We have to discover and come up with it all ourselves. I mean, let's be a little realistic here.
And how long do you think it's going to take to come up with the model flat?
Well, how long did it take to come up with the globe model, bro? Like
about an hour and a half for me.
It took an hour and a half to come up with the globe model.
Yeah, if I'd have had to figure it out for myself, probably about a day.
Bro, that's some hubris, bro. I thought I was a narcissistic sociopath. You are absolutely out of your mind, bro.
Okay, so wait a minute. Whoa. Let's not insult me.
I'm not insulting you, but
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me respond. So, the fact that the sun goes down and goes up and is a consistent rate, the fact that Polaris drops 1 degree over 59 miles, and that is a linear thing, I now conclude it's a sphere. I need to work out how much of a sphere. The 1 degrees over 59 miles tells me that at 90 degrees, I won't see it. 90 times 69 miles is a quarter of the radius of the Earth. The full radius of the diameter and radius I can now calculate from that. When I create the model and I do predictions, I realize they're off. And I look at the sun and the path that it's going over time and realize that there must be an axial tilt. I then start tilting the model until I get an exact prediction and I'm done. And then I go for lunch. This is not fucking hard.
No, but coming up with,
Yeah.
Coming up with like every single, the map, figuring out the exact circumference of the Earth,
Yeah, I need to, and in order to do that, I'm really sorry. I needed to travel 69 miles. How long do you think it would take me to do that?
To know, I mean, it's not just that. But that's just
no, it isn't. It's exactly that.
Okay. So besides the palpable genius of Stingray,
that's not genius. That's logic.
How long did it take?
And I am not a genius, by the way.
Okay.
I've got common sense.
You just made the claim that you could come up with the globe model in a day. But let's
the fact that it's a globe and its size and its relationship to the sun, absolutely, 100%, yes.
How long did it take humanity to put the globe model together?
They didn't have Blender. I'm on about today.
Oh no, well.
Yeah, today. Well, no, on paper, I could have. On paper, I probably couldn't do that. If I'm being honest. In Blender, because it's so easy for me to use 3D graphics and spatial stuff, I can do that. But someone 3,000 years ago could have done that in a couple of days.
Well, so again, you have just this conversation has just hardened my position that as one completely and totally narcissistic individual to another, I don't understand why you would not prefer to be the guy to make the flat model, bro. Be that guy. Fucking be that guy, bro.
Yeah, but the difference there is I don't want to portray that fucking hippopotamus can fly and that fairies travel around on dragons. I don't want to be that guy.
What do you mean, like a spinning upside down globe world? I mean, why not? What's the difference?
Spinning upside down. A rotating planet is not spinning upside down. A rotating planet is not upside down.
I would argue that a spinning, rotating planet is a flying hippopotamus. What difference does it make? If planets can fly, hippopotamuses can fly. What's it matter?
How is a planet flying? A planet's in free fall. Wait a minute, whoa! I can't let you get away with that. A planet is in free fall. It is not flying.
Oh, okay. Well, if that can work, anything can work. Let's do it. Let's see what you're really made of.
No, I'm saying to come up with a globe is considerably harder. If the Earth was flat, that would be fucking easy. I wouldn't have to travel 69. Well, I tell a lie. I said travel 69 miles. I'd have to do double that distance to make sure it was a linear rate. If I wanted to, I could travel the length of the country in about a day to work out that, oh, hang about, Polaris has dropped, my country, by the way, that Polaris has dropped by 3 degrees. Therefore, linear relationship. Therefore, I'm on a curved surface.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
The bottom line, Stingray, is it took humanity thousands of years to work this out. And it's going to take us a little bit of time, but you know what? It's a journey.
Wait a minute, Shape Commander. Wait a minute. Yes, I agree with it. It might have taken humanity, depending on when you start. Let's say civilization. It might have taken civilization 5,000 years to definitively say, hey, this is a globe. People would have suspected earlier than that, surely, just with logic and determinate reasoning. But let's say I agree with you. It took them 5,000 years, 10,000 years. I don't give a shit. That's civilizations. That's society to some societies to believe that. Not done. Absolutely with you. But you're including all of the people and primitive mankind. Now let's skip forward to today and blank everybody's mind, but leave them with the skills like 3D graphics and mathematics. It would take some people less than half a day. I would do it in a day. No, 2 days, because I've got to travel the length of my country. 2 days. If I was set on like, what is the shape of this land, what we're on, and no one knows, but I can use Blender, I can use maths, I can determine what a linear rate of elevation drop would mean, then I know, hey, this can only be a circle and this can only be a near infinite distance. Great. What is that linear rate? 69 miles. Great. At 90 degrees times 69 is 1/4 of the circumference. Awesome. I know the radius now. We're on a sphere. Let me figure out the axial tilt. That's it.
Well, if you don't want to be the one to figure it out, someone else will be the one, and they're going to steal your thunder, bro. So, I mean,
you can't. Whoa. Wait a minute. Steal thunder. So, do you think this model that I've got on screen is sufficiently more complicated than a rotating sphere chasing a distant star at an angular tilt with you on it that's rotating, going round at 66 million miles an hour, whatever the fuck, yeah? Do you think... Wait a minute. Get this. Wait a minute. Not done. Nearly done. Do you think that a flat fucking table and a light bulb traveling over it is a harder model to come up with? I put it to you that is the start of a delusion.
I mean, there's, that what you said is not harder. No, but there's things that we must, there's parts of it that are harder to explain.
Okay. I've got a question for you and answer honestly. If I've got a table and a light bulb, can I symbolize the flat Earth?
Hang on. Remember when I told you I literally just got up like,
yeah.
This is too much. You're just too much energy, bro. You're just like, let's dial it back like fucking 1 degree.
You wouldn't have an answer if you were fully awake either.
Oh, so we got level coming up, bro. The level.
Yeah. So have you ever done anything other than just say words about this stuff?
I mean, what have you done besides say words about this stuff?
Well, I used to use radar. And
Fred would have some things to say about that.
Well, Fred has been wrong, numerous times.
Well, haven't we all? So I would argue that most of us have been wrong before, except the pinnacle of human creation, the Globers.
So, with that comment that you're talking about, he thinks that the max range of a radar is how far we can, detect targets at the surface level, and we can't. So he thinks that debunks the radar. That's not how it works. You have the horizon.
There's an argument there somewhere.
No, there isn't an argument there.
There is.
Not at all, man. Shit. If you've ever used a radar, then maybe you would actually see that there's fucking curvature to the world because we can't see past a certain point when it comes to the horizon.
Well, then how do they know? How do they test that maximum distance?
Well, they know about shooting it into the air.
Oh, just into space.
No. They target things from either high altitude or they target things that are in the air that are flying by and shit, you know?
I hazard a guess that in determining the range of a radar, you could also do it mathematically based on the wavelength and the attenuation through the atmosphere, given the scatter coefficients and the reflectors based on standard materials. So I'm pretty sure that you could get to within a certain percentile of determining what a radar is based on the energy output of it and the gain on your receiver and how much you could do signal to noise determination on it. I know an incredible radio and electrical engineer that unfortunately isn't with us anymore that did some amazing stuff for HP, and he explained some amazing things to me one day. Now, I don't give a shit about radars. I give a shit about flat Earth, that fucking dinner table, and one light bulb circling around a dinner table giving me one prediction that's nearly done about reality. About reality. And do you know what flat Earth has never done? Predicted one fucking thing about reality that could be useful.
Okay. What's the problem with the dinner table and the light bulb? Apart from the rotation and movements of stars and things that don't work out. I don't see the fucking problem.
No. Throw the stars out. Don't give a shit about the stars. Because the stars aren't useful to me at the moment anyway. Polaris maybe is. Oh, right. Yeah. So the rate of change at northern latitudes or parallels doesn't match or conform to reality, and that's why nothing works. You could not if I was why not?
Yeah, why not?
Because the relative motion of a local sun circling 24 hours around a north rotation point on a flat surface does not match reality.
So just your feelings and words. A little bit of words, a little bit of your feelings, and that's basically
not at all.
Wait, what?
I think so. So again, tell me why.
You didn't say that at all, shit, Commander.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I think you missed what I said. Okay. So here's an example, Shape Commander. On the Tropic of Cancer, the furthest in to on a flat non-rotating water always found its level flat Earth that you can be, no observer anywhere would actually see. Wait a minute. Why have I? Give me a second. I think I've turned something off here, which is a bit weird. No observer anywhere no observer on this beautiful flat non-rotating Earth. I could put them anywhere in any sea. On any continent, and the path of the sun through the sky based on any altitude will never match anybody's reality. Now, given that simple fact that you could do this on a table, set up a little pin, have a bit of string and a light bulb, and say, I'm going to swing this light bulb round, and I'm going to find a place on the table where this matches someone's reality. You'll be there for a fucking infinity because it will not match. That's what I mean by being useless. It is utterly fucking useless and a waste of time and space. It always has been. It always will be.
Okay, that's like, your opinion, man. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus fucking Christ. What a fucking golden answer. Jesus fucking Christ.
So I guarantee. So for anybody looking in the audience, here we go. So we've got, I don't know if anybody's aware of what the Gibraltar Straits are. It's this little gap here that separates the Atlantic from the Mediterranean. And British territory, by the way. But anyway, let's have a look at what the sun will do at the height of summer. So what I can do is I can get on this model and say, hey, look, this is what the sun will do at the height of summer. And no one ever sees this ever. This not only doesn't match the Straits of Gibraltar ever, it doesn't match anywhere on the globe, on the beautiful flat land ever. Oh, well, what about if there's more, you haven't got the altitude right? Fuck the altitude. I can have it at every fucking altitude. None of them ever work. No one ever sees this.
Well, I mean, listen.
But wait a minute. Nearly done. Nearly done. This isn't for your benefit.
Okay.
I don't.
I've seen this before.
Yeah. I know. That's why it's not for your benefit. But the weird thing is, you can special plead all of that and say, oh, well, you don't know the altitude. You don't know what the sun is, all that kind of stuff. Well, fucking fine. But guess what? When I put you on a fucking rotating ball, it works. And all I have to do is rotate the fucking ball and it works. So the Straits of, we're nearly done. The Straits of Gibraltar, tomorrow. You're on a rotating ball. That's what they'll see. That's just objective reality and just fucking works. If this isn't true, this is the biggest coincidence in the history of humankind, which is awesome. I should get lottery tickets because I'm just lucky, I guess. Now, Shape Commander, now you can go. That wasn't for your benefit. That was for the chat.
Yeah. So listen, just because the globe can explain it isn't definitive. No, sure. I mean, like I agree that the globe can explain these observations, but that doesn't mean it's the only explanation. Maybe we're going to come up with an explanation. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, all we know is what we see and experience, and guess what that is? It's a flat, emotionless Earth. One second, I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done.
Flat fill.
I'm nearly done.
Flat fill.
Wait a minute. Let him finish his sentence. Go on.
No, I mean I keep my sentences short and sweet for the people. I don't know. You guys should try it sometime. Go ahead, Level.
Go ahead. All right. So Shape Commander, like, I know that you've never actually observed anything that works on a flat Earth.
So
and you were talking about.
Whoa, Shape, calm down.
Nearly done. Nearly done.
Are we
Nearly done.
Are we going to do?
Nearly done.
Wait. Level. Wait a minute. Whoa. Guys. Level. Try and take the piss a little bit less. And Shape Commander, don't interrupt, or else you'll just get him to take the piss more.
That's all I was going to say. That's all.
Gotcha. So
do it in Fred's voice if you're going to do it in anything, because that shit is fucking cool.
Nearly done. So basically, you were talking about how, man, we got 5,000 years and we came up with the globe. Where's the flat Earth model that works with that same 5,000 years?
We're working on it.
No, you're not. You're just sitting in here just saying words. Let's go.
Well, we all are, but
Hold on. Since you're working on it, where's like one fucking prediction?
I have a prediction for you right now if you'd like to have it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. So a prediction needs to be the result of a model that is not probability driven from statistics of past events, because that shows no understanding. Now, me saying, hey, I'm going to go shopping on Friday because every Friday all of my life I've gone shopping. That's not an understanding of reality. That's just an occurrence and a probability based on statistical extrapolation. Me determining exactly my biology, when I'm going to run out of food, all that kind of things, and then predicting based on that the frequency of which I go shopping with all of that input data is in fact a prediction of that situation. So when we say prediction, I mean show us a fucking model. Just use a flat table, a piece of string, and a fucking torch or a light bulb, and show us something that matches reality, because no one ever has.
Okay, so there might be a shortcoming there, sure.
Yeah.
But again, that's not to say that we will not be able to explain this better in the future. But I will say that I don't appreciate being muted in the chat. Okay, I don't appreciate that. So
I don't know why you were muted, by the way, so it depends what people say. If someone's muting you just out of spite, whoa, calm down. Whoa, wait, wait a minute, when I'm talking. No. If someone muted you for just because they wanted to, let me know a timestamp of that, because that's not all right.
I don't have mod power, so
it was Looney Tunes. He said I was muted because I need to pay attention to the conversation and stay out of the chat.
Oh, were you having a chat in the conversation when Stingray was explaining something to you?
No, he said that wasn't for me.
Something you do. You dude say
cool.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Can I just wait a minute? You've got no mod powers.
Yeah, my mods were removed.
No, I don't mean you. Your mods were removed for a very specific reason.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I looked at what Nathan, like, you're welcome to come on for a chat, but I'm not having one of my mods supporting what Nathan does. And I thought it was a very past event, right? Last time we spoke, Shape, I thought it was a past event. I thought that was something, because I knew Nathan, 8 years ago, and I knew when that happened about 7 years ago or 6 years ago. I can't fucking remember when now. And I just thought that was a singular event. I just thought, oh, well done, everybody on TikTok for catching up. I did not know that he's kept doing that. I did not. And that is fucking disgusting. I thought the police incident and getting a spanking in that sense would have said it, or at least it'd have developed some respect for parental guidance for children. And that's
a petty nothing burger charge. Okay, cool.
No. That's not my issue. That's not my issue at all.
I get it.
Yeah. You do.
Nothing to do with the charges.
Yeah. I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. Imagine. So if take Nathan out of the equation, Shape. Imagine you had children and you're teaching them of the beautiful flat Earth. Yeah. To me, that is a religion, and you're looking at me saying, "Well, the globe Earth is a religion." I can't do your accent, or else I'd have done it then. And that's fine. Well, then let's change it to, whoa. If it's a religion, let's change it to Muslim and Christianity. Now, me being a Muslim, I'm going to teach your children and give them Muslim ideology, right? Yeah, you've got a problem with that because you're their parent, you're their guardian, you're the person that decides what's best for them because you're fucking responsible for them. And I'm going to say, no, fuck you. I'm going to tell these to be Muslim. I'm going to push my ideologies on them. That is no fucking different. It doesn't matter whether I think I'm right or wrong. You are their goddamn parent.
The problem with that is that we live in a free society, and you can't control those type of things in a free society. Not completely.
Yeah. I'm not saying you can control them. The control is irrelevant.
Well, if that was
no, wait a minute, Level. The control is irrelevant. Me being able to control that is irrelevant. It's about someone respecting my parental fucking position. If you have no respect for my wishes for my own fucking child, then you better have medical insurance.
Well, I mean, listen, I agree with that. I don't agree with that tactic. I've told him I don't agree with that tactic. Okay, I just don't think that it rises to the level of depersoning someone. Okay, that's all. And so I would prefer not get into this.
No, that's fine. And I'm fine with that. I just wanted to say, anybody that actually gives that waste of space time of day, unfortunately, I was fine with you being a mod until I realized that you give him a lot of space and he's still doing that. So anybody that kind of condones that, doesn't call it out and doesn't just say, grow up. I don't want them. Anybody that makes the active decision, I don't want them as a mod. You are welcome to come up and have a discussion with me, but just that's not an attribute that I want on people modding my chat. Not that I think you do something wrong in modding. It's just that because I vehemently don't agree with that, I just can't condone a mod of mine, being that way.
And I mean, you'll let them sit up on your panel and say "red pill the youth" and shit like that. So I mean, makes you complicit, man.
Yeah, I just so you know, Shape, if we take it back to the shape of the planet, I wouldn't come up, even though so let's say you're teaching your kids flat Earth and you're teaching that the world's flat and creation and all this kind of stuff. I would not, even though I believe that is damaging, right? Regardless of whether it's true or not, in today's society, that is damaging. That's going to be a limitation for their kids. I have no right to try and correct that. None. Zero. Because I respect you as a parent to them and making the best decisions for them. I am not their parent. They are your responsibility until they're old enough to make their own decisions. I respect that. I do not respect what you will be teaching them, and I know it's a disadvantage, and I would want to try and help them, but I will not because of that singular fact.
I'll hold you to that. We'll hold you to that.
You won't hold Nathan to that, will you?
Yeah, well, I think maybe Nathan is simply going about doing that the wrong way. Like I told him that he should focus on parents and explaining to them why they need to teach their kids this and you know this.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that.
And yet you still allow him to say stuff like red pill the youth.
Because
on
again, I'm not going to deperson someone over this. No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to deperson them? What does the fuck that mean?
I'm not going to, if the TOS of TikTok allows him to be on here, I'm not going to pretend that I am somehow an authority that decides who is allowed to speak.
Complicit then. You were complicit by spreading that information on your channel that we should be red pilling the youth.
Okay, but from the perspective, I'm sorry, from the perspective of a person who 100% believes that the earth is a flat center of creation deal, what are you complicit in, right? So, you know, I mean, the argument goes both ways.
Hold on.
I'm not
Hold on. Hold on. I don't give a fuck.
No.
So here's the thing. You say, what am I complicit in? If you ask a question, you should allow the person to answer, you know? Okay. So what I'm saying is that this is a curriculum that's set up by school boards and the nation, and it is agreed upon, you see? And we've all agreed upon that we don't bring religion into schools because, you know, it takes away. It takes away. There's too many people that actually have, you know, different views. And if you just put out one view when it comes to religion, then you're being, you know, biased.
Well, that's
now when it comes to the flat earth, it would need some kind of fucking evidence and to be agreed upon by the status quo. And if it's not agreed upon by the status quo, then you don't bring it into the fucking schools.
Okay, so we have homeschool. We will do exactly what.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. So if I could respond,
kids, it's simple as that, and you don't fucking do that.
I think that is something that's going to be more and more the case as things go forward. I think that people are going to begin. I'm sorry if I could respond. I think that there is going to be this growing trend of people taking their children out of the public school system and teaching them themselves a biblical creation. Sure, absolutely.
That's beside the point.
100%, 1,000%.
Beside the point. We're talking about going up to a public school.
Well, I mean, I already
and
said
yelling at kids.
I already said
well, this is what I'm saying. You support that when you put him on your channel and let him say red pill to you.
That's like your opinion, man.
So wait a minute, Level. I'm gonna controversial opinion here, but I don't think I would class that as supporting it. Supporting something means adding credence to it. I'd say that's tolerating it, and almost being indifferent to it. So that's a problem that I've got, tolerating it.
Live.
Yeah, but that's
stuff he says on his own live is a different story.
Yeah, I mean the problem that I've got is anybody that tolerates that, I'm not a fan of anymore. And it doesn't matter how you justify it. They could be the world's best flat Earth spokesman, which Nathan certainly is not. But you know, they could be. But that's not something. You know, all of that is irrelevant to someone's morality. Nathan has zero morals. Is an egotistical asshole that only wants to be known. I mean, there's about 7 years ago, there was a TV. It was either a TV sting or something done in the United States on him, and you know, and he's there in his garden or where he was stopping at the time, juggling while reciting loads of things, and all of that is just for the fucking camera. He was entirely like that 8 years ago. Look at me, I'm amazing, look at me, I'm going to push this, I'm going to articulate my arguments, I'm going to push this, I need everybody to look at me. And when he lost his Facebook thing, that destroyed him almost. He is one of those people that needs that visibility. Now, when he does stuff like that and goes on someone's channel and they don't pull him up on that when he's continuously still doing it, that's tolerance of it. And that's not good. That isn't like saying, hey, well done, go out and do it. Because if you are, then you're fucking banned from my shit anyway. But tolerating it is not okay by me. It's not as bad as fully supporting it, saying, oh yeah, here's some flyers, push these out to kids. So I do think it's not just a black and white. There's a level of grayness there, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, what's the big deal? All it did was hand out some flyers to some kids.
Well, I mean, listen, it obviously wasn't a big deal in the court of law sense because he got a petty nothing burger charge. This is primarily
again.
You think disturbing the peace on a fucking public school ground is a petty nothing burger charge?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because it's a nothing burger charge. It's a
no,
misdemeanor.
Explain how it's a nothing burger charge.
Because it's a misdemeanor.
I don't give a fuck if it's a misdemeanor or not.
What are misdemeanors level?
And that makes it okay.
I didn't say that.
You
got around and around we go with this. Dude. Jesus Christ!
You are, Phil. You're saying it's a misdemeanor, so it's not that bad.
Well, in the eyes of the law,
would be no
charge.
So hang on. What is a misdemeanor?
Shape. A misdemeanor is a charge. Okay,
and
a nothing burger. Well, hold on. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. Yeah, I know. So it's a charge. It's not a nothing burger because a nothing burger would mean he didn't get charged at all. You know.
He wasn't just not charged. He was found guilty and he paid a fine.
Okay, so the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's not a nothing burger, but it's not as serious as you guys let on, right? So
no, you're claiming that it's not a felony, so it's not a big deal. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, a felony is a bigger deal than a misdemeanor, yes.
Yeah,
right. I come up here to support you for a second because they act like it's a frick, like the dude done something to children that's unspeakable. He only told them something.
He harasses children.
Oh my God!
He thinks that children playing in their front yard. There's the video of him with 4 children playing in their front yard without an adult present, and he walks up to these children and begins talking and preaching flat earth to them in their front yard while they're trying to play.
He was also stalking buses to get kids as they get off the fucking bus.
This is disturbing, dude. Would you want someone to do that to your child? What would your reaction be if it was your child that happened to?
Okay, so to that, here's what I have to say to that. You just said that he was stalking. Was he charged with stalking?
No, he was not.
There you go.
But he fucking caught him. Doesn't mean that he didn't get caught.
He was issued a trespass notice to not trespass on school property again.
That's all. Trespass.
I think it's
and
something like that, isn't it?
And he still continues to do it.
I'm not supporting him at all, and I've told you guys this.
You're fucking supporting him.
No, I'm not.
You're trying to.
When you say it's not that bad,
look,
and
what
it's
I'm
okay,
saying,
it's supporting, dude.
All right, now I don't agree with Nathan. I think Nathan gets a little carried away.
Your soul.
Hold on.
For your fucking wicked ways, your false witness will be bared in the eyes of the God, and He will send your soul forever.
Why do you do this to me? Stop. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. What I'm saying basically is he felt passionate about it, so he went to a school to tell some kids about it. Okay, what's the difference? If it is the truth, I
feel passionate about a lot of shit, but that doesn't mean I go to a school and mess with other people's children without their permission.
JP, I agree 100%.
Terms for you there, fat mouth. What if I went to your kid's school and started telling them about Satanism and how the good dark Lord is, there to take in all their sins and all this different shit. And then they come home and they tell you, hey, Dad, I'm starting to think I should be a Satanist.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's going on in school right now. I'm pretty sure that's going on.
Yeah, that's absolutely happening. Sure.
Yes,
it absolutely
you guys
is
are
not.
fucking idiots.
Horse shit. Y'all are fucking liars now.
It was on Fox News.
It is going on.
It was on Fox News, bro.
I went up to the school on my own accord and started handing out flyers to kids about Satanism. Do you think that's okay?
No, it's not okay, and that's why I disavowed that strategy. Okay,
right? Me too.
If I was doing that on a constant basis and not learning my lesson, would you platform me?
No, I don't agree with Nathan. At all.
So here's the deep flaws in your logic. Okay, so Nathan is doing his own live streams. He has a platform. Whether he's on my live or not, it makes no difference. If you hang on, I'm sorry, I wasn't done. I'm almost done. So he has his own platform. He has a platform. Now, if he's on my live, you guys could have come on my live and challenged him yourself, but you couldn't separate your emotions from this issue. And so now he's on my live just by himself. That's not my fault. That's your fault.
Chief, let me say one thing to you.
Hold on. Let me finish this up.
Hold
here.
on.
No. Hold on.
Can I get
Yeah,
one thing?
Hold on, guys. Fuck.
Dude,
So
level.
I did go
trying to
on.
say
I
level,
did
level.
go on to his fucking on your live and challenged Nathan. And what did he do? He fucking muted me, booted me, and got me fucking banned. So you tell me that I can come on there and fucking do that, and it's just fine? You're a fucking liar.
You got banned because you were turbo harassing him level.
Kind of like you do me, bro.
Him about this, and he muted me, and then he booted me.
But you're a mod. You could have come
So
right back on.
then
You
I
could have
fucking
come-
went
you could have come right back
thermonuclear on
but
his ass.
instead, you chose to harass him in the chat.
Again, I went in there to talk to him about that, and I didn't go thermonuclear until he started using mod powers to silence
But
me.
you were also a
On
mod. You
your
could have done the same
live.
thing to him.
On
Also
your
a mod.
Oh, I'm not finished. So on
Go
your
ahead.
live is where that fucking happened. You understand? You allowed that to happen. You allowed Nathan to silence opposition.
Were you a mod? Yes or no?
Yes, I was, and yet he still silenced me, and there ain't much I can do about
right
it.
back up on the panel. You could have muted
And
him.
I
You could have
fucking
kicked him.
did, and then I got fucking reported by all your fucking mass reporting bot friends.
Well, it wasn't
Now
me,
here's
bro.
the thing. I don't give a
Fucker,
fuck,
you act
fat
like it
mouth.
was
You
me.
came up.
You act
I
like
don't
it
give a
was me.
fuck, fat mouth.
I don't
You
give a fuck
came up
either.
and lied about me,
I didn't lie
saying
about
that
you.
Nathan didn't do any of this shit.
I didn't know it first, dipshit.
And you said, Level's a
And
liar.
JT
So
will
your
tell you
fucking
that.
wicked ways will be
Fuck you, man.
burning you for
And I'm gonna
all
tell you right now,
eternity.
fuck
You fucking piece of
I'm
shit.
stop.
Good job, dude. Oh my
Level, can I
God,
say
dude.
something now?
Yes, please.
Sure. why
Okay,
not?
Shape and Fat Mouth. You hear the audience hears someone like me. You hear me. If someone like me went up to your children without you, trying to hand them flyers on anything, including flat Earth or globe Earth, whatever, someone like me who talks like me went up to your children unattended, you would try and have me banned from the entire app. Okay, so don't act like someone going up alone to your children is not inappropriate or is not something worthy of getting them off all of our platform. Because if it was me,
Look.
you would never want to see my face here again.
Look, let me
Rightfully so.
say.
Let me respond to that. So if you did that, you would go through the legal process. And so, but again, you know, apparently in this country, leafleting youth about an issue is not a serious crime. Okay, and so.
Oh, I'm well aware. No one's trying to get anyone arrested right now. We're talking about whether or not we want them on our platform, in
No,
our
okay.
spaces,
But
talking.
wait, but
so,
aren't y'all against
Let me
indoctrination?
respond to the second part
Aren't
of that.
y'all against indoctrination?
Okay, JT, let me respond to the second part of that. So there's the legal side, and then there's like the moral. There's the moral side, right? So listen, yeah, I mean, I agree with you that just because it's not a serious crime to do that does not mean that we should engage in that. I agree.
Right. I don't agree with what Nathan did. I've told everybody that. But level
Also,
took it to
platforming
another
him
level.
is
He really has.
platforming him is an allowance. You
Wait
understand?
a minute, guys. Guys, there's a difference between JT. You're really breaking up as well. By the way, you're really faint and you're really breaking up. It's like you're killing the radio tower while being at a great distance. What I would say though is, I mean, like I say, I don't agree with anybody platforming him. I don't agree with people supporting him. Definitely. I don't necessarily agree with people tolerating him at all. And it's fine saying that you don't agree with that, but he keeps doing that. So let's just get this straight.
Yes.
So
And
what
that's
you,
wrong.
okay, no, that's fine, Fat Mouth. But you and Shape Commander have agreed, and I've heard you say it. It's wrong. You don't agree with it. Everybody's on board with you. Now, imagine So it's now a degree of how much you disagree with that. Are you slightly against it? Are you very against it? What is it? Do you respect the morality of not interfering with someone else's children and the way that those parents want them brought up? Because if you do, then you should be vehemently against that. Now, the question becomes, if that is the case, then if you continue to tolerate someone that continuously does that, what conclusions are anybody going to draw from that about you?
Okay, hold on. Now let me speak for a second.
Yeah,
The
go for it.
passion came from when I was a kid. I believe I was lied to. Okay, so that's where I was talking about. Nathan going up to schools was kind of sort of okay, but not really. He needed to talk to the parents. Now the schools have our parents' consent, to teach. So if they're teaching a lie, I can kind of see Nathan's angle. I don't support it. I don't support the way he went about it. I don't support what he continues to do. But if it's a lie, it's wrong.
No, fat mouth. I'm with you. If they teach lies, now if they teach lies, if they teach lies, it's up to, well, I don't know how it works in the United States. I would say it's a committee that would with the educational board that would decide that, hey, this is not right. Let's fucking change this. Like has happened previously. But here's the thing about that.
Yeah, we have the same thing.
Yeah. If it's a lie, great. Demonstrate it's a fucking lie. Because if you don't, you're just saying, oh, well, if it's a lie, I'm okay with this. That means nothing. It is either a lie or it isn't. You can either demonstrate it to be true that it is a lie or not, in which case you've got no foundation for it whatsoever.
Right.
So imagine this, fat mouth. I've got let's say I've got a group of 3 friends. This is a hypothetical, by the way, and is not directed at anybody in particular. But let's say I've got 5 trans friends that are all trans women. And what they want to do, because they believe that it's the truth and that children are misgendered by society, they want to come to school. And they want to hand out flyers saying it's okay to feel like you're feeling with confused things. And they target individuals going through puberty that this might ring true for because of the emotional turmoil that they go through. And they're handing out flyers saying, hey, this to schools, right? And all they get is a slap on the wrist because flyers and schools and, a little misdemeanor charge or whatever the fuck it is. Are you okay with them doing that?
Dude, I'm on a homeschool. I'm serious. I'm going to homeschool.
No. Same here. But what I'm saying, that it was a hypothetical. I am actually considering homeschooling my child, but not because of that. But here's the thing: would you be okay with that if your children went to a state or public or federal school?
No, I would not.
No. Now, what about if that group of people come on to a TikTok live that you're on and say, hey, we're teaching the youth and getting in there so that we can create more trans people because it's the truth and people should be free to gender themselves however they want for as long as they want and go through surgery. We're spreading the good word. Would you be okay with them being on my TikTok saying the same thing and having done the same thing not a week before? I put it to you that you fucking wouldn't. And you would think less of me because of having them on there. Right?
Okay, listen. Yeah, so listen. Your example. Hang on a second. Wait a minute.
JT's been waiting for ages. Yeah, but JT, honestly, you are really quiet, which is why people have been over talking you.
Yeah, that's fine. I realized I was in a bad area. My signal dropped, so I'm actually going back to work here. So
nice. Congrats.
So let's not forget that a woman that Nathan was in a relationship with had to lock herself in her room with her children, her minor young children, in that room asleep. And there's video of it because she posted it. She posted Nathan's antics, his abusive antics. on her social media of him kicking her door and screaming at her, and she's asking him, leave us alone. You're going to wake my children up. Please just leave. And he continues, and you hear this little, like, 8 or 9-year-old girl wake up and say, please leave my mommy alone. And he continues. He is a physically abusive individual to women. Look at the way he talks to women in your
bro,
chat.
this is news to me, though. I haven't seen that.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Look at the way he responds and communicates to women. Like he's above them, like they are trash. It is unacceptable.
Well, if that, and so now I'm going to respond.
Hold on, to the point that Nathan's minions went and harassed her so much because she posted the video that she ended up deleting all of her social media accounts because she was being constantly harassed over it.
Which is that side's pretty much point of view is, look, the person that does the wrong, as long as they're on our flat earth side, we don't care. We'll actually, harass the victim.
That's not true.
That is true. That's what happened.
I just told y'all I don't support Nathan. I said we was talking about what he did with the school, okay?
As a matter of fact,
that's where you're
said that I was. Hold on, Fat Mouth. You came up and said that I was a liar, and your fucking doe-eyed snake tongue fucking spit out lies about me.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You called me a liar, and that fucking Nathan didn't do those things, and you called me a fucking liar.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna change my name, Doe-eyed Snake Tongue. I'm doing it right now. Doe-eyed Snake Tongue.
He's lied about me too. He's been in Flat Earth Live saying I'm not a pilot and this and this.
No, I did not lie about you, JP. I did not lie about you.
You did.
Fucking do it, Fat Mouth. You fucking liar.
A pilot.
Anyway, guys, let's talk about subjects rather than personal insults and what people call each other. If no one's called each other anything on this fucking live, I'm all right with that. If it's historical, then have that discussion somewhere else. I don't mind discussing the Nathan topic, but I'm not going to tolerate insults from either side to anybody. It's not something. Getting into a shouting match with just insults is fucking childish. Either meet up and battle it out like men, or fucking and stand in front of each other and say that, or just shut the fuck up about it. Let's talk about subjects.
All right. So since that's the case, I would like to point out that you guys have pretty much said it's not that big of a deal that he's going up to children and fucking doing that. If it was a bigger crime, if he got charged with something bigger, then it might be an issue. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So listen. Yeah. So I would say if he was charged with, if he was guilty of doing horrible things, then sure, that would make a difference. And so I think, listen, even though I disagree with that strategy of trying to quote unquote red pill the youth like that on your own, right? I think that you have to keep it in the context. You have to get in the mind of someone that believes that there's this grand conspiracy to indoctrinate entire generations, right? So, even though I disagree with his strategy, I understand how he would feel that way, right? So,
and you condone it. So, here's the thing: whenever he's told that he needs to leave, what does he do?
Can I just point out something with what you just said, Shape Commander? If someone believes something enough, whether they're right or wrong, they can disrespect a parent's wishes and go outside of social norms and morality because they just believe it to be right. Do you know what fanatics are? You've just give a green light to every fanatic that really, really just believes what they want to do and believes that whatever their actions are, and we all know that your country suffered actions because of fanatics, but so long as they believe it, we've just got to see it from their point of view.
No, I don't think that any of us should engage in that activity. I think that for a number of reasons. Number one, it's morally questionable. It is also bad optics And it also opens up this can of worms to where anybody could come to that position and start using that strategy. So, I mean, I think it's a bad idea for multiple levels, right? But
yeah,
you know, am I going to not listen? Am I not going to allow him to speak on the flat Earth issue because of that? I decided that I wasn't going to take that position, right? So.
Yeah, and that's why you're in the position you are in now with all of us.
And Commander, you got the coolest demeanor, bro.
So here's the thing. Like, when he's told he needs to leave, he starts screaming like a madman every fucking time. So you think that's a appropriate way to put out a message to children?
Obviously, you guys know more about this guy than I do. Okay.
Well, obviously, that mouth. So you probably shouldn't have put your stupid fucking mouth open.
I come up here. Well, yeah, I got a mouth. That's my whole name. Yes.
Yeah.
But, I come up here to support Shape Commander, and I don't like your fucking ass level because you're a dick.
Okay. Do y'all know why Nathan left YouTube and Facebook and came to TikTok recently?
He got ran off.
Because his followers, a lot of them that have morals, when they realized that he had done what he did, a lot of them started leaving and speaking out against his antics.
And you guys
That's why he is not big. That's why he's not so big in the flat Earth community like he used to be. Because even the ones that have morals stood up and said, "This is unfucking acceptable. You are crossing a line that we will not tolerate."
Agreed. So what's your point?
I still hang out with them and talk with them.
Stop associating with him.
Man.
Hey,
he should not have went about it the way he went about it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's cool to pick up your dog and slam him on the concrete?
It's saying, I know.
JT, I ain't trying to fall out with you, man. I like you. So what's your point?
You've called him not a real pilot. You've lied about.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I questioned that, but he confirmed it. Okay. I didn't know the guy in the beginning.
For Flat Earth Lives and said that he's not a real pilot. That's
I
coming.
asked him if he was a real pilot, and he confirmed that he was.
You to fucking cast the first stone,
dude. Shut the fuck up. And that's a real Christian of me too. You're an asshole.
Can we? So what about the shape? Like, can we get back?
You gotta burn in hell.
Or is this just like
it's spherical?
About...
Sorry. The shape.
You on your level,
like it or not.
The shape is
freaking asshole.
Is up for grab.
Yeah, the shape of the Earth. Let's try and get back to that. Like I said, let's. I've said my piece. I think everybody's said their piece. I don't think there's a conversation that's going to have any merit going to come out of this, and it's just going to be a circle jerk of calling people things and then past historical things and all that kind of stuff. And as entertaining that is for some people, it just probably ain't for most people and shouldn't be, to be fair. I don't mind discussing. I don't mind discussing the shape of the planet and the question on the table at the moment is, I need someone to demonstrate to me that flat Earth has one useful thing in reality, because I'm on the border of saying, hey, I'm just going to start discussing computer science, 3D printing, graphics, visual effects, because flat Earth is a waste of fucking space, because it's never given. And if people believe that the Earth was flat for thousands of years, 10,000 years, 15,000 years, then where's the fucking usefulness of it? Why can no single flat earther point out one thing that I can use, one knowledge piece that I can apply within reality and say, hey, this is for the betterment of everybody? Because without that, flat Earth remains, as it always has been, fucking useless.
Okay, I've got a question. I do. And it's actually for you, Stingray.
Oh, go for it.
I've seen this on another live, but your model that you have there.
Which one?
Well, the one you have where you got like the globe over top of the head.
Oh, right, yeah. Globe.
The flat Earth with a globe or whatever. I mean, but anyway, I was wondering, I had a guy that said something about sidereal time. Does your globe there? I mean, does your model use sidereal time?
Yeah. So it doesn't use time per se. It uses angles and relationships. So because times or time zones, they're a construct, right? I can go 60 miles east of Egypt, and it's still the same time if I look at a watch. So time is an abstract thing that we use to just make life easier. So sidereal time, or the relationship between, where you are on a rotating sphere and that sun, that's all that this model uses. So we can think of it as Sorry, go on, JT.
A sidereal day.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you've gone back into your little
24. Yeah, I know. Fucking A.
Yeah.
Another thing they can never explain is the magnetic field. Like we make it with the Earth makes a magnetic field because of the core and the magneto effect. And that core is getting compressed down so hot that it's almost like the hell that Fat Mouth will burn in.
Oh my God,
Dude,
level.
You gonna keep on, man. You
level.
Keep on.
Give up, level.
Dude, I love you like a good Christian.
Yeah, I don't like you at all, Fat Mouth, and I don't want you to love me. That's fucking creepy.
Anyway,
You're an asshole.
guys,
Dude.
yeah. Do you love assholes, Fat Mouth? Is that what you do? Let's just not.
Hey man, I'm trying with the guy. I really am. I'm honestly trying with him.
But anyway. Let's all calm down 2 seconds. Right. So, Fat Mouth, in answer to your question, the only thing that this model predicts is not simple, stupid human constructs like seconds and time. It purely uses the relationship between the surface and a very distant sun to predict the exact path. Now, I could put time in here, but it would be this abstract overlay. It's actually nothing to do with the model. Time has nothing to do with the model. Rotation, angle, distance, and size has everything to do with a model. Time does not.
Would that predict the ecliptic though? I mean, would that predict the planet?
I haven't got the orbit of the moon in here. In fact, I have, but I haven't worked out a non-mathematical way yet. You see, the problem with this model, the good thing about this model, because I created it, I 100% claim that this model has got no mathematics, algorithms, or expressions in it to produce predictive results. So that is to say, if you gave me enough money, and it would have to be a stupid amount of money, I could construct this as a physical, mechanical model, and it would do exactly the same. Because I'm not relying on any mathematics. Yeah. If I put the moon's orbit in, which is slightly more than a 28-day lunar cycle, I haven't figured out a way to do it mechanically yet, whereby I can still claim that there's no maths in it. I could do it mathematically quite easy with a lookup table and maths. I don't want to do that. I want to figure out a way mechanically, but I haven't done it yet. So this is actually just about that big ball of local sun in the sky, as you would call it, and predicting where that's going to be if you were on a ball and rotating, and day and night. I have got separate models now that show you the orientation of the moon if you're on a globe based on different latitudes that matches up pretty perfectly. But I've not shown people that yet, and it's not quite ready for mainstream. But I've got an analemma predictor, which is ready for mainstream. If you're on a ball,
ready, bro. I'm ready.
Yeah. The analemma predictor, I absolutely love. I think it's awesome. From any location, you could tell me approximately what fraction of the solar day you're going to take the analemma from, and I can show you what you will record. And all I do to do that, which I love, all I do to show you what that looks like is use a sphere. No one can ever do this on a flat Earth. And I guarantee you right now, if flat Earth were true, it'd be a lot fucking easier to do on a flat Earth. It was, I tell you right now, this was not easy to construct mechanically with no expressions using Blender, a 3D program. It absolutely isn't. So an example here is a rotation of this Earth now is constituted at the same point of the same day over an entire year. And what I've done is I can say, well, if I go to, let's say, let's say I go to Central England, and then I've got a mechanical, well, it's not mechanical, well, it is a mechanical thing here to say, well, if I were to start taking photos at noon, or let's say we want it an angle, mid-morning, right? Now, what I can do is on the right here is the prediction of the analemma, which it's going to trace out. I've not found a way to show the line of what this is yet. I will do, but that will be the analemma for someone in Central England doing one photo every day for 2 years, actually, this. In Central England...
It's not exactly making a figure 8 there. Maybe.
It is.
I don't know.
It absolutely is. If I zoom in and show you a little bit more, you can see how it moves. And so now it's going more up. Then it goes more left. Then it comes round, takes a turn. Then it goes more right.
Okay.
Yeah, once I've got the line in there, you'll be able to see it. But I've not found out a way to do what you call onion skinning on this yet. I've got to find a decent way to do that. But I've measured this against analemmas in Egypt. Well, in the UAE, Egypt, one down in Cornwall, and it matches. And all I'm doing is putting it on a sphere and rotating it, which is awesome. No one's ever done this on a flat Earth, and no one could. And a flat Earth would be a lot easier to work this shit out. This was not easy.
And to be fair, Shape Commander 90% agrees with everything that you show.
Yeah, exactly. I do.
Oh, you do too. So everything that, 90%, it's just the 10% that get you.
Yeah, I'm that 10.
Yeah, so what don't you get on the globe model? I mean, whenever 90% of it works, Occam's razor usually steps in.
Whoa! No!
I don't understand.
I disagree with that statement level. 100% of it works. There's no 90%. 100% of it works. That 10% is a construct of flat Earth saying, well, 10% of it works on a flat Earth, 0% works on a flat Earth. The ratio is 0 to 100. It always has been. It always will be.
I agree.
The ratio is growing.
Using his logic, you know what I mean? If he believes there is 10% that needs to be figured out, Occam's razor would usually come in and say, even though you don't understand it, this is most likely the model that works, and yet you're a flat earther.
And I actually love Occam's razor. I really do, because I've said from the beginning that we stand on the knife's edge of truth, on the very edge of truth, and that's where I'm at.
But here's the thing, Fat Mouth. The issue is that truth. You've got on one side someone saying, "Hey, this thing's got feathers. It clucks. It lays fucking eggs. It's about a foot tall, or a foot and a half tall. It crows in the morning. I think this is a chicken or a cockerel." And then you've got someone on the other side of the aisle saying, "That's a unicorn dancing dragon." That's not on the knife edge of truth.
The knife's edge of truth. And yes, it goes both ways.
How does it go the other way?
Because, number one, I see too far. Number two, I'm not going to go into why I believe what I believe. Because level will tear me down, so it ain't, whatever.
Yeah, burn in hell.
Level.
Oh, he was just going to...
No. Level. I keep getting reported. This is my second reporting for bullying and stuff. And it's not wrong either.
I didn't report him.
No. I don't care who reported me. Level, you can't just come out and say stuff like that. I respect you, but I cannot allow you just to keep saying that out of the blue. And that's not because I give a shit about lives or anything. It's just whoever's reported me. Wait a minute. Whoever reported me, that was probably the right thing to do. Or reported the live, so I had to drop you, Level. I apologize.
So, Fat Mouth.
What's up,
You say you see too far.
Yes.
But when you can take a calculator that is based on spherical geometry, and you can plug variables into that calculator, say, I'm 6 foot tall. That's my observer height. this is the object I want to look at. And it will tell you at around 5 miles, you will no longer see that object. And you go out and you actually do that in reality. You say, okay, here's the object. This is my height. The object is going away from me. I have a means of determining its distance from me. And lo and behold, you can no longer see it at the distance the calculator, based on spherical geometry, predicts. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that there's a lot of factors involved here. Okay.
No.
It's not just.
What does at the bare roots? What does that tell you?
If it was as you say,
that calculation is correct. That's what it tells you. And if that calculation is correct, and you can do that every day, you can go out and observe that calculation is correct, right?
If that's what I saw daily, I would agree.
If this calculator is based on a spherical geometry off of a spherical Earth, and this in reality is actually happening as that spherical geometry predicts and tells me it will, what does that tell you about the shape of the object you're standing on?
I mean, all right, okay. All right, what's your interpretation of
You're
refraction?
trying to dance around it.
No,
refraction is light bending towards a denser medium, okay?
Right, okay. So,
being that the Earth, the densest medium of the Earth's atmosphere, is at the surface, if that object is beyond the horizon slightly, as that light comes outwards towards you, it interacts with that denser medium and bends downwards. That makes that object appear higher in elevation than it actually is.
Right.
Because downwards refraction, your eye sees in a straight line.
But
so when that light is coming down at a slight angle to you, your eye sees that object straight out in the path that the light is coming from.
So you're claiming
even though the light is
refraction,
being bent.
So you're claiming that refraction would benefit me in seeing an object further away, or not?
Yes, if the refraction is stronger, yes.
Well,
that is what refraction does.
I mean, what I've done...
It makes an object appear higher than the object actually is, even if that object is obstructed by another object, or, in this case, the surface of a ball.
Now, JT, I could be wrong, but I have done my own little experiment. And refraction, what I've done, like on my kitchen table with a magnifying glass, it magnifies the object and it magnifies the horizon.
A magnifying glass is not
am I wrong?
Refraction.
Well, what is refraction then?
Well,
what is the
it is to an
doing?
extent, right? But a magnifying glass is similar to a Fresnel lens, okay? The thickest part of that magnifying glass is in the center, all right? So an object off to the side of that magnifying glass is going to be bent and seen towards the center. When you do experiments using lenses, you have to do the experiment the way the Earth's atmosphere is. The densest part of the Earth's atmosphere is not 5 miles above the surface of the Earth. It is at the surface of the Earth.
That's
so when you
correct,
take when you take a Fresnel lens, for instance, and you are looking through the bottom of that Fresnel lens, the light is going to hit that Fresnel lens and be bent upwards towards the center of the Fresnel lens, away from your eye. And that is going to make the object appear lower than it actually is. That's how refraction works. Because you are not looking through the denser part of the Fresnel lens. You're looking through the less dense part of the Fresnel lens.
Hey,
so
I like that word. I'll put that in my vocabulary.
No, wait a minute. Don't put that word in your vocabulary because it's a French guy and it's Fresnel. Just saying.
Fresnel?
Yeah, Fresnel. Yeah. I say Fresnel, Fresnel,
I know.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
Listen,
at any rate, we know refraction takes place. We know how refraction works. If you wear eyeglasses, that's how your eyeglasses work. They refract the light into the lens where they need it to be for your eye shape.
I can explain all this atmospheric refraction from start to finish, and no, it is not like a magnifying glass at all. if you want to see, if you care to see the math, that we know how atmospheric refraction works, okay?
I mean, we can calculate the refraction based off of atmospheric variables.
We can calculate the refraction, but he does not understand it because he tried to use a magnifying glass to understand refraction, and that's not what's going on.
What I'm asking you, does refraction aid in seeing an object far away? Or
yes, it
not?
does, and I can explain that right now. Okay, so if you send a light ray in through a more dense medium, all right, say the bottom of the atmosphere, which is more dense, and it hits the boundary between a more dense object, like the lower atmosphere, to a less dense area, like the top of the atmosphere, it's going to bend at a wider angle such that it bends towards the surface of the Earth. So let's see what that happens. So say you are next to the tree, right? Over the horizon, you can admit that in the globe model that there's a limit to what you can see based off the curvature of the Earth, and that's what we call the horizon, correct? Correct?
Right, I guess.
Okay,
I'm
excellent.
looking.
So on the other side is a boat, okay? Say this is all water you're looking over. You're at the edge of the shore. Sorry, I dropped my pencil. You're at the edge of the shore looking over the water. There's a boat that's too far over the horizon to be seen, okay? Sun's here. Sun spreads its light. Light's going to hit this boat, and it's going to bounce off in all directions, correct? It's not like this boat is a mirror bouncing in one direction. So people in front of the boat, people behind the boat, to the left, to the right can all see this boat because when the sun comes in, hits it, it reflects in all directions, right?
So basically, anytime we see too far, it's refraction. Is that y'all?
Yes, correct. And I'm explaining that right now. Can I finish?
Sure.
Not yelling at you, but can I finish just so we can say we've shown you that with refraction, we can see further than we actually should without refraction, okay? So this light's coming out at all angles. Right now, this boat is too far over the horizon to be seen, okay? So if a light ray comes out, and these lines I'm drawing are basically lines of equal density. So it's more dense towards the surface of the Earth, and as you get higher, the air gets thinner and it gets less dense. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, like we discovered here, when a light ray travels through more dense gas and goes into less dense gas, it's going to bend towards the direction of ground surface. So what happens if it's over the horizon? Light's coming out at an angle. Oh, it hits an area of lesser density. It bends towards the surface. Then it keeps going, hits another area of lesser density, bends towards the surface. So there's an angle such that this light ray will come in. Oh, it's an angle of more density, bends, and there's a chance that it'll reach your eye. So yes, refraction, where air is more dense on bottom, less dense as you go higher, helps see things over the horizon. At a certain distance, you can see so much as 50 kilometers more than you could.
Okay, well, I'm not, okay, I'm going to study on that one.
There's nothing to argue. This is fact.
I'm going to ask you a question. Why is it then that we see the furthest on clear, dry days?
Because that's when this gradient is the most uniform.
That's when the refraction is absent.
No, that is not when who told you there's always a pressure gradient, a density gradient in the atmosphere? Who told you that is absent on a clear day?
On a clear, dry day.
On a clear, dry day, who told you that there is no density or pressure gradient in the atmosphere? Because whoever said that is full of shit.
Yeah, and wait a minute. There's some ambiguity here. Wait a minute, JT. What do you mean by clear day? What do you mean by clear day?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, fat mouth. Yeah, I've got no idea what you mean by clear day. Well, I live in the UK. We don't have such thing as the word clear and a day. So, I want to know what you mean.
What I mean is on a clear, dry day, we see the furthest.
So on a clear or wet day. So wait a minute. Is it your belief then that humidity plays the leading role in refraction?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Right. So that's false.
That is also definitely false. Yes.
Yeah. So that's not something that anybody. Yeah. Go on, JC.
Humidity actually makes the air a little less dense, which means it decreases the refractive index.
Dude, what the? Now, hold on, JT. I got to call you on this. Look, I did a little with drag racing in my history, okay? When it's humid, the air is more dense. My car runs better.
Yeah, I think he's correct, JT.
Yeah,
well,
please.
Well, there's other variables here, right? We've got temperature and pressure that also play. So it can be a humid day with a cool temperature or a warmer temperature, and a very low pressure, and it's not going to be as dense.
But it doesn't matter
So
about distinct pressure.
yeah.
This is about a pressure
Right.
gradient. And factors
Yeah,
in
and
temperature
the-
and humidity change this gradient. So if you're on a clear day, a typical day, this is the pattern that's going to happen. You can see further over the horizon than you should without refraction. And that's a fact, Fat Mouth.
I'm going
It
to
is
study
an
up on
undeniable fact.
refraction more. I mean, I am, honest to God, guys. I mean, I will. I'll look into it more.
This is optics. So I
But
want you to
refraction
understand that this
is
has
always
nothing to
there.
do with lenses.
Yeah, refraction is always there. There's never a day that there's no refraction in the atmosphere. And you can test refraction yourself. You can take a ball, okay, a basketball, a big beach ball, whatever, and tape an object, right? Like a Lego, one of the big Legos, on one part of the ball. And then set that ball to where that Lego is just out of sight. And you can go take, I don't know what, like liquid nitrogen or maybe dry ice and get that cold air to come over between your line to the ball. And you'll see that Lego now comes into view. And as the air warms back up and the density changes, it'll go back out of view, even though the ball did not move.
That's kind of the same way if you're viewing a vehicle over a hot road from a distance. I get it, guys. I mean, I'm not dumb.
But it's
Now, this is
refraction.
simple optics.
It's what explains why we can see things sometimes and other times we can't, even though the shape of the Earth is a ball.
I'm just
Give
not
me 1
sure
second.
that it would aid in making me see something further. I'm just not sure about that.
Can you read my screen? It's a simple Google search. Can you see further with refraction? The solid arc OH now represents the curved line of sight. Whatever. Notice refraction lets us see a little further if the ray is concave towards Earth, as shown here. Refraction helps us see further.
Okay.
And look,
but
I'll
it
give you
also
a simple
cuts off
picture
the
that is
horizon.
much. Here you go. So
It
this
also
thing.
cuts off the horizon.
No.
No,
Whoa.
it does not.
Yeah, no. Whoever's told you that, Fairmouth, that's not true.
It's
That's
made
what
up
I've seen with
completely.
my experiment on my kitchen table.
Your
No.
experiment is wrong. That's with a lens. This is not
Okay.
a lens.
All right. Well, that's what it
This
did.
is something
That's what
over
happened.
the horizon whose light comes off and bends towards the surface of the Earth. And if you're lucky enough, that light will hit your eye and you will see it further than it actually is.
Wait a minute. Can I just? I'm just going to show this because this is for Matrix and 3DOM because I really like this, and then I'll allow us to get back to it. So this is a HomePod, right? And the best thing on that, what do you call it? On Maker World for 3D printing, I wanted a wall mount. Was this thing, right? So that's the best thing that someone did, and it's got this little flat area. Wait a minute. Why have I done this? Let me just turn the aperture down so we can see it. Right, there we go. So yeah. So there's this flat area here, and it's supposed to be whereby the HomePod kind of sits on it like so, right? But with the cable out the back, obviously. And it just sits there, and it's like you can go over and knock it off, right? So this is for a wall, and you could just knock your HomePod off. How shit is that? So I thought, And I've seen all of these that sort of like wrap it round as well, yeah, to hold it onto a wall, which means there's multiple speakers in here, which means you're fucking with the multiple speakers. So I designed this, which
Stingray, that's cool, bro.
wait a minute, check this. This is cooler. So if you look at how this holds it, it looks like it's not going to hold it, right? It doesn't actually even need these bits on it. Yeah, it doesn't need these bits to hold it because I've designed it in a way that grips round this thing ever so slightly. And when I say ever so slightly, I mean when you place it on there, like so, it's now on there, and you can hold it at this angle. But guess what? You can even mount the fucking thing to your ceiling, and it's not going to come off as well. I'm just really pleased with this.
Dude, that's awesome, man, for real.
'Cause
A buddy
you
of
can-
mine's got a plasma table, and we make truck parts and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you can now couple this to a wall and not have it look like any mount. I'm going to release this on that Maker World. I'm going to release it without these things as well, so that it just has this round seal. Unfortunately, to get it out, you do have to lever it a little bit. like that. But yes, I just love the way that this is going to shit on the current best one, which is this. Just saying. But anyway, that's all I want to show.
You're gonna have to tell me the speaker too, because I don't have one.
Awesome.
Yeah, 3D printing is cool. Sorry for detracting that. I just wanted to show Matrix and 3DOM and anybody else that was interested about 3D printing and product design.
I've been printing on my 3D printer for the last couple of days. The nozzle was stuck. I woke up in the morning to the biggest bird's nest I could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Just 2 days ago, so I had to clear all that out. And now it's printing, but everything takes like 13 hours, 45 hours. To print,
Yeah.
so.
I hate that. I really do.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Awesome, man, for real.
It takes a woman less time to give birth than printing out whatever you're printing out, Matrix. That's stupid, isn't it?
I'm waiting for the bamboo. I'm gonna hold tight. I'm not gonna order the A1 Mini just yet.
Yeah, I will get the A1 when it comes out as well, I think. But I love the A1 Mini. I think it's awesome, especially for doing like these little prints that I've just been doing and rapidly prototyping while the X1 is doing something more serious.
Hey, Stingray, what do you know about the metal printers?
Not a lot. 3DOM might. Well, no, I don't think 3DOM will. I don't know a lot, but I have seen a way.
Deal, but...
Oh, go on, 3DOM.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Metal printing.
It just depends on what type of metal printer you talk, because there's a few different types of metal printing. There's like you've got your sintered like powder style printing, but then you've got. Sorry, Matrix.
I'm materials and welding engineer, so we've been actually looking at some additive manufacturing techniques and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
It's very cool that you can make very nice, like, complex shapes and stuff like that, especially when it comes to like cooling channels and things like that. Like geometry that you can't normally do, or when you have to make a part where you have to do an immense amount of machining. The only downside is because of the way it's produced, just because you're making a part, you don't get the same strength, the tensile strength. So there's other things you have to do, like hydrostatic press and things like that, to add, strength and stuff to it. But it's never the same thing as making something out of a machine part or something. So still is in its infancy. There's some applications for it, but not a whole lot where it cannot deal with like high pressures and tensile strengths yet.
I mean, there is. I don't know whether Matrix and 3DOM you've seen this. I saw my girlfriend sent me a TikTok about it. There's a dip method that you can do that you can add different coatings to your 3D prints if you spray them with a certain material, whereby you just shove an electrical current through and then you can like gold plate it, aluminium plate, all that kind of stuff. I'm really interested in trying that, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen that. People
electroplating
their plastic parts.
But it's interesting you say that about pressures and stresses, Matrix, because there's a company, a cycle company, that produces all their joints and everything out of printed titanium. And obviously bike frames go through quite a lot of stress.
I have a question. You just said something about, somebody did, about, chrome-plated plastic?
Electroplating, yeah.
Now, I've seen that. I mean, I work in the automotive industry. Obviously, I've seen plastic chrome-plated bumpers, but how is that done?
Matrix?
You put a charge into the plastic.
Yeah, they put a coating on there that basically charges it, and then they can apply the coating on top of it.
So basically, any object to be chrome-plated?
Yeah, it's kind of like, just imagine spraying it with a clear coat lacquer that happens to be able to have, just ionized particles in it, that then when you give it an electrical current can bond to metal flakes. Yeah,
you just need some conductivity in the material, and that's how electroplating works.
Yeah.
But I understand that, but the material itself is not magnetic. So that was
it's not magnetism, it's electrostatics.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
So they apply a coating that allows the current to, go on the skin of the product.
Yeah,
that allows them to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Just think
So
about powder
basically
coating
any-
when they spray a frame with a powder coat and the static adheres the powder to the frame of the object. Whatever you powder
So
coat.
basically, I guess any object could be electroplated. Is that right?
Yeah, as long as you can adhere that dip material to it.
Okay. Just a question.
Oh, cool. So, have we got any flat Earth
Printing out
questions?
this moon full size.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah,
that looks like a stupid size. That looks ridiculous. Did you see the little moon that? Did you see the little moon that I had?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm printing it.
I was thinking if you're going with hey, I made this new attachment that looks like a freaking moon, and you could drop your HomePod in there. I didn't go there though.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect example to show that if the moon was its own light source, it wouldn't have any shadows.
So, Stingray, basically, you did like an interference measurement there to just basically trap the pod.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you what. Give me 2 seconds. Wait a minute. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Wait there. Yeah, I'm just going to show you the process. So starts off with me, obviously, with calipers taking measurements and stuff. And then I produce a prototype. And then I think, yeah, that doesn't fit very well. Then I produce another prototype. And then I think, yeah, that doesn't fit very well. Then I produce another prototype. Then I think, that fits all right. But what about if I had a few other designs and constraints? And I just start iterating and printing these fucking things out until eventually I start getting to a semi-final design. And then there we go. So, yes, it's a bit of an iterative thing. But yes, and there's actually more I printed out than this, which is why rapid printing is really important. Because when I want to physically try something, I don't want a printer that's going to make me wait. All of this was done within a day. Yeah?
Dude, I have a new respect for you. I'm not gonna lie.
With a slow printer, I'd have gone off my nut in a week doing this, and I wouldn't have bothered. But so these are wait a minute, more prototypes. There we go. And then eventually I've got to this, and this isn't even the final one. The final one is the one that I'm actually going to do next. But yes, there you go. Better than the one that you can get on Maker World. And theirs is even faceted, if you look, which I don't like. Whereas mine's going to be smooth. But anyway, there you go.
Well, you got to mass produce that thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got loads of little product designs and stuff that I want to do. And I'm actually speaking to an injection molding company about one of my product designs because I actually want to produce like 5,000 units and sell them online as a first batch. Just as a little thing, because I like tinkering. I do like tinkering. But anyway, did we answer all your lovely flat Earth questions? Or refraction questions?
Well, I mean,
refraction.
I
think refraction doesn't help a flat Earth. That's why I leave it out. Because if I put refraction in with standard atmospheric refraction, which is a thing, so refraction, is responsible for us making glasses, lenses, all that kind of good stuff, and it's applicable to the atmosphere as well. We have standard atmospheric refraction used in, believe it or not, used in celestial navigation along with the radius of the Earth for thousands of years. Oh, well, hundreds of years. So refraction is definitely a thing. And in celestial navigation, it causes the, 6/7/31 radius of the Earth to be slightly bigger. 7/6R actually increases it, let's say to just over 7,000 apparently. Because that's what refraction does. It makes a sphere look bigger. Now,
again, it magnifies, yes.
It not necessarily magnifies. Magnifies is the wrong term. So an object that is, let's say, 5 degrees high by 5 degrees wide will not appear bigger due to refraction. It will appear higher because it's the bending of light. It's not uniformly making it bigger. It's not got the properties of a magnifying glass. A magnifying glass requires that you be in the center of that magnifying glass or that zoom lens. And if you move left or right, the magnifying glass fails to work. So that's how you can't magnify things like that in the atmosphere, because lenses don't exist in the atmosphere. It's what we call a non-homogeneous medium. So, but here's the interesting thing. If standard atmospheric refraction exists, which it does because it's been used in celestial navigation for an incredibly long time, incredibly accurately, then no one would ever see flat Earth. There would be no flat Earth. Flat Earth would not exist. You wouldn't be able to take a picture of flat Earth. You would take a picture of slightly concave Earth all the time. And that's just the way that would be. So here's the prediction. If standard atmospheric refraction is a thing, then flat Earth would never exist. It couldn't. If you could ever take a photo of perfectly flat Earth, you would be suffocating at the same time. With you not suffocating an atmosphere there being in standard atmospheric refraction, the Earth would appear slightly concave. So refraction or atmosphere on a flat Earth means that flat Earth could never exist. You only ever see slightly concave Earth. Now, refraction on a globe means it's still a globe, it's just got a slightly bigger radius. And that's what's used in celestial navigation. I've got to look that up, it's cool.
Okay, all right, well, I got a question then. How do land surveyors factor refraction in? I think I've talked to Barron before, but he ain't really made it real clear about how he does that.
I don't know much about land surveying, to be honest, but they do account for standard atmospheric refraction. I know that because I used to speak to a guy called Larry something, forgot his name, who was a land surveyor, who was also in this debate thing because he's done huge surveys over huge distances.
So I've heard Burns say that he likes to take his observations early in the morning and later in the evening. And takes multiple ones, and you can actually see when there's a lot of refraction, you can see a lot of waviness going through the atmosphere, then you know that you're not getting the accurate data.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have to be taken over a period of time. I get that.
Oh, yeah. The one thing, you've reminded me now what Larry says. Yeah, so choosing the time of day specifically to lower refraction, and also taking multiple samples if you have no other choice to actually determine, because if you take like 20 samples through the course of 20 readings through the course of an hour, and then you average that, most of the time you'll be able to determine the standard atmospheric refraction of that time sits within the average, not the mean, but the average of those readings, which is how you do proper surveying. But surveying, obviously, with standard atmospheric refraction and calculating it, they always say that, it's like Larry always says, hey, I've measured a sphere, I've done it thousands of times, that's what I do. And he goes out and does like hundreds of mile surveying, land surveying and stuff, which is quite cool. He doesn't do it from ground level, by the way, when it's hundreds of miles. It's actually elevation points and known elevation points.
Now you talk about Barron?
No. This is my friend. I haven't spoken to Barron that much. This is my friend that I used to speak to a lot, Larry. He's on a Discord server that I go to, and I ask him about surveying and stuff because I had to do a visualization for the breakdown of components for Leica Geosystems total stations. So at that point of doing that, I had to learn what the fuck is a total station, and what are all these components that I'm exploding out for this fucking VR presentation. It's like, what is this? What is this? So I kind of learned about surveying equipment at that point.
You call it a total station?
Yeah. So a theodolite is a much simpler version of a total station. I think that's why. Oh yeah, total station. The key's in the name. There you go.
Okay. Well, I told Barron I'd check into it myself. I told him I was going to buy a theodolite, and I will. Just to get to the bottom of this crap.
A theodolite can only shoot a horizontal. Okay. So when you level that instrument up, you look through the crosshairs, you can see that there's a horizon dip. You can see the horizon is below horizontal. But the theodolite doesn't have a means of tilting or giving you that angle from horizontal to the horizon. Okay, a total station does, because it's can work in multiple. It's got multiple angles that it can do. So you can actually tilt it downwards, and it will calculate. Okay, this is the degrees from horizontal to that horizon. So you can do a dip calculation. A total station just does a lot more things, that's all. Where a theodolite is just like a rifle scope, right? You're looking through, there's the crosshairs, right? That's it. That's all it's doing. Total station just gives you more angles that you can, pull and
Is a total station, does a total station have multiple theodolites? Is that what that is?
No, it's just a theodolite that pivots vertically and horizontally. It pivots on an axis, where a total station, a theodolite doesn't.
Oh wow,
There's a total station.
Yeah, get this. This is the actual one. Like a Geosystems one that I've got a model of this somewhere actually. And I've got all the brilliant thing about it is I've got a model with all the internal components as well, because I had to do an exploded version. So here you go, Fat Mouth. This total station is about $40,000.
Yeah.
Damn, I was ready to spend a couple thousand. Or what?
You're breaking up bad again, JT. Yeah. But yeah, actually, I'm going to try and find the model for this so that I can show everybody all the internal components, because the model that I had to break apart and do this was this particular model, or very close to it, because I remember it now. But I've actually got the model with all the internal optic components and gizmos and shit inside as well, which is pretty cool.
Man, Level's still down in these comments, bro. What is up with him?
I think he's in a trolley day today.
Yeah, no, he's been like this on me for about a month, dude. About 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Ever since he got banned, I didn't do it. I promise I didn't do it. But anyway, yeah, man, $40,000, huh? Wow, that's crazy. Interesting. You know what? I'm willing to spend some money to figure out the truth. I really am. I'm not broke. I got a little money.
Yeah, but just get a theodolite and backsite it. Don't get a total station. This is way overkill. I mean, it comes with this. So what you've got here is an incredibly accurate GPS receiver as well. That gives you, incredibly accurate readings for position and stuff. But anyway, but in all seriousness, you don't really need to spend any money to figure out the shape of the Earth. You just need to say a sunset would never occur on flat Earth, and a sun doesn't make the motions that it would have to on flat Earth. And you could do that with a small table and a light bulb, and that's just the truth. Because when someone says, "Well, perspective makes a sun get to the horizon," yeah, but perspective won't make it drop below the horizon, and perspective would make it disappear before it gets to the horizon. And you have to ask yourself. Go on, JT.
The distance away from your zenith, right, where you physically are, for the sun on a flat Earth to reach 1 degree.
Yeah, you're breaking up terribly. Utterly, like I can't work out a thing you're saying.
I hate that, man. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I did as well, actually. But I think I'm gonna say what I think he says. You know, what you can do is you can calculate every altitude that the sun could possibly be, right? Every altitude. So we could start at 1,000, go all the way up to 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 miles. We could do all of that. And then what we could do is, based on that distance, your zenith, we could calculate how far it would have to go away to get to the last degree of your horizon. So if you take an altitude of, let's say, 3,000 miles, it would have to travel 250,000 miles to get within the last degree. But by then, it's going to be too small to see. And this is just something that exists within our reality that is the law of our physical perspective within spatial reality. This does not break. This works for everything, but apparently not a flat Earth fucking sun, which is a bit weird.
That's exactly what I was saying.
I knew that's what you're saying. JD.
Is greater than the circumference of the Earth. So how does it work? It doesn't.
Yeah. So and another thing is
it absolutely doesn't.
A sun being at an altitude of 10 feet, right? To get below your horizon, the distance is infinite because it never will. It's going straight away from you. Why would it ever go down more than going straight away from you? That's not a thing that would happen. It's like saying this huge train, at some point, it's going to go away and start going down. For no reason other than I need it to, and that's what we see in reality. That's not what would happen. And cameras don't get rid of the downiness of that situation. They don't. Zoom does not alter how much light. Zoom doesn't alter the path of the light, which would have to alter for things to move their relative angular position from your vantage point. So you do not twist a zoom lens and magic a ship back into existence that's gone behind water and down. You can magic back into inner existence if you can't see it anymore because it's just too small to see. Of course you can. But once it's gone over that curve, while still being big enough to see, no amount of zoom will ever bring it back. And that's the terrible thing of flat Earth that people shove out there. And it's like if you repeat it enough, people just believe it to be true. That's
now, hold on, man.
Yeah.
There is a dividing line between darkness and light. Now, it's something that flat earthers don't understand quite, but there is that line, and I understand what you're talking about. But it's kind of like what you're talking about. I mean, it could be round or it could be flat. But and again, in my defense, it's a belief. So I can't really. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it can't be round or flat. It has to be one, and the two are not even close. So if I said, oh, well, it's got to be round or a pyramid, those two are not close. If I say, well, it's got to be a pyramid or a cube, those two are not close. If I say, well, it's got to be flat or it's got to be a hexagon, those two are not close. Or a geoid hexagonal shape or something, those two are not close. I can. Well, wait a minute, just really quickly. So if I said it's got to be an oval shape or a sphere, those two are a lot closer than all the other relationships, but it's still not even close, right? So to say that it could be one or the other is absolutely wrong. One will give accurate predictions, and if it does, the others cannot because they're not close. Okay. They won't even come close. And that's exactly why there are no flat earth predictions, because they don't come close.
Well, your understanding of it won't come close because we haven't been taught, about this thing. I'm learning. I'm a newbie in this and learning, even though I've been in it since 2015. But what do you think about the yin yang symbol? I mean, it's there for a reason. It
looks like. Well, the yin yang symbol could be any kind of symbol. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's inference. It's inference as well at best.
Okay.
Do you know what?
That's fine. I deserve that.
No. Yeah. So something. So the thing is, in determining what objective reality is, you don't want interpretation. Yeah. You don't want to look at a situation, and say, hey, well, I think this could be this. It could be something else, but I think it's this. That's not science. Yeah. That's not going to get you anywhere. If you're learning to read and think, well, this could be the letter A, or it could be the letter B, or it could be the letter F. I just think it's the letter F with no good reason. That you're not going to learn to read with that at all. That's not going to work. An F cannot be an A, and an A cannot be a B. And they are definitely what they are. And once you construct that, you can read, come up with words, sentences, all that kind of shit, and communicate with people. So the flat Earth is I think it might be this. The globe is, no, it's definitely this because we can predict it and put it together with words and sentences. The two are not the same. Never have been and never will be.
I was just asking why you think that symbol exists.
Yeah, it's spiritual and philosophical, and the only thing that you can get for it is inference. So somebody that was brought up on a desert island with something similar or identical to that symbol could believe that it's incredibly evil. Someone else on another continent could believe that it's incredibly spiritual and amazing and represents like an equilibrium. Someone else could believe something entirely different and believe that it's just angelic or there's some deep meaning in it. And all of those opinions are incredibly independent, all based on inference, which means they are not a pathway to the truth of what a symbol may or may not mean, because it's completely and utterly relative and you can interpret it any way you want. And again, I don't add that much to that. I mean, it's fascinating, but it's nothing to do with objective reality. To me.
Yeah, right. I understand the inference, and I could be strawmanning at this point. I mean, for real. But I could be oversimplifying what I see with light and darkness. But it is kind of a symbol that looks like, it looks like a dot in the center of a pathway that absorbs light and one gives light. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, and it's got a dividing line. Bring up the symbol. You can do that.
Oh yeah, no, but that's nothing to do with light and dark. That doesn't correspond to our days or nights at all.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I don't know how light and darkness works on the flat Earth, but that kind of resembles what I think.
So just really quickly, light and dark work in reality, and we understand them. The shape of the planet's got nothing to do with it. So light is energy. This is actually a transverse, just meaning moving, electromagnetic wave, meaning there's energy. And that's what light is. The darkness is the absence of that light. Wait a minute, what?
Dude, I don't know. I just got a freaking something.
Yeah, what is that? Wait a minute. I've got to remove you for some reason, but I don't even know why.
Dude, it's level. I swear it is. He's been crazy lately. I don't know, dude. But take me down. It's fine.
All right. Anyway, nice chatting to you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
That is weird. That is just weird. Anyway, yeah, I don't get this reporting people. Hello, Don. How are you?
Yes, hello, sir.
Have I spoken to you before?
Yes, you did it last week.
Yeah, I think I remember. Although that was an incredible long time ago for me. So, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And you are a flat earther as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a flat earther.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I kind of remember. I say I remember. I kind of remember. Have you listened to what we've been saying?
Yes, yes, I have.
Do you disagree with what we've been saying? I'm guessing.
Yes,
I'm guessing you do.
Yes, I am disagree. Do you remember last time I was asking you about how the sun can be up to my head, above my head when I'm in Cape Town?
Yep.
And the other guy in London. Do you remember?
Yeah. Did I show you that? Oh, wait a minute. Where are we? There we go. No, that's not it. Well, actually, I'll open it up. On what day was this? What date? Sorry, what month was this observation?
You can take any month.
I mean, for it to be based on wait a minute, were you're in Cape Town, aren't you? That was it. Yeah, so
for clarification, is he saying that the sun at noon in Cape Town is 90 degrees above his head?
Well, maybe not 90, but near enough.
Well, I don't think it would even be 90.
It'd be very close. It'd be like 2 or 3 degrees off in around December. So I'm going to put it to December the 20, whatever. I'll have a look. I'll see. The brilliant thing, JT, is I've got a magic space ball that gives me these answers. It visually gives me these answers. And I've just done it the wrong fucking way. Why am I... Yeah, I've just done it the wrong way. Wait a minute. What have I done here? Oh, my God. I've screwed this up so bad. Anyway. Oh, yeah, it's never going to be that in South Africa. It's never going to be directly above your head in Cape Town. Don? You there?
So, yeah.
It's never going to be directly above your head in Cape Town, is it? It's never directly above your head, I don't think. It might seem like it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. The closest it will ever get, according to the globe model in Cape Town. Oh, well, I tell a lie. Well, maybe, maybe 4 degrees, 5 degrees off. Let's have a look. So in Cape Town, actually, more like 10 degrees. So in Cape Town, I can get it near 10 degrees. So that, I don't know whether you can see the screen, but a little dot there is directly above you, yeah? And these little marks represent 5 degrees. So in Cape Town, I can get it to 10 degrees, which is, it's not insignificant, but it's pretty close, right? So you wouldn't be able to tell those 10 degrees just with your eyes and looking up. It might seem like it's directly above. No one's going to be able to look up like that and say, hey, that's directly above me. But in this situation here, now that we've got that, you wanted to know somewhere else, didn't you, at that moment in time? Where was it? Just London? Or near enough London, yeah. So in London, at the same time, someone's going to see it only 15 or 14 degrees above their horizon on that day.
Yeah. So that means it's a sunset or sunrise.
This is noon. This is the middle of the solar day.
No way.
Yeah.
That can't be right, sir. Because you see, the day is gonna be maybe 8 hours. It's gonna be maybe 4 hours. The day. You see.
My day in London.
Yeah, but
no, my day is going to be like a fair number of hours. To be fair, not a lot, but wait a minute. Let me reset all of this because I think I've screwed this up royally. Because that didn't seem right. You are correct. I've got 23 for axial tilt. Yes, I've got you in Australia, in South Africa. No, this is about right. Yeah, so with you in South Africa, Cape Town, it's almost above your head. And with me at the United Kingdom at my zenith or on the latitude, it is about 15 degrees. I mean, I can go look this up if you want. Let me have a look. Time and date. Timeanddate.com. Unless I've screwed my model up, which actually isn't out of the question at the moment because I screwed the thing up earlier and realized that I had done. Wait a minute. So I want to search for, I don't know, London. Yeah, London, England. And we want December the 21st. Where the hell is Sun and Moon? There we go. December the 21st. I wish you could just pick a month, but you can't because this thing is just ridiculous. Sunrise, sunset. Not March. Not February. December. Here we go. And then December 22nd. So, oh, look at that. So, I don't know whether you can see this, Dom. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. So, December the 22nd, when it's high in your sky, the moon, the sun gets to an altitude of about 15 degrees. You can see it there on the right. So at solar noon, it's at 15 degrees due south. And here, the example of being on a sphere, on a ball, puts it at about 15 degrees due south. On that day, where, wait a minute, let's just try this. So let's put you back in Cape Town. Oops, not you. Not you, but let's put this back in Cape Town. So now we're in Cape Town. And now we're about 10 degrees off zenith. Yeah. So now let's go to back over here and let's copy this, new little tab. And let's say Cape Town, South Africa. And apologies, but I'm going to have to keep pushing this button